There we go. All right, sorry. Sorry you had to see that. We're a little late getting started here. Game's on.
NDSU elected to receive. Got the ball first.
We're going. Cam Miller.
So I think it said this is his 54th consecutive start
You will
for Cam.
you'll see him on the sidelines on Sundays next year. He won't be starting anywhere, but he'll be hold the clipboard. Unless he pulls a J.J. McCarthy and fakes a knee injury and sits out.
Nice. The Gophers guy, Tanner Morgan.
Yep.
I thought that's what happened with him, and he never even got picked up.
I thought for sure he'd be a practice squad guy or something.
He went to the Steelers, and then the Vikings, I think, picked him up. But then that was it.
And when you get replaced by Jones from the Giants on the practice squad, pretty bad.
Was not good. Now the Vikings have Jones as well.
That was their first loss in the Jones era.
That's right.
The Bears have more wins this year than the Vikings. Swallowed out.
Wait.
That's nice, Pat. First down. It's another Bison. First down. Yeah.
So Montana State here for this game, 4.5-point favorites.
58.5 over under. I think we're gonna go under, but obviously green and gold here. They're gonna win. I got the Bison winning, but
Montana State 15-0, Bison 13-2.
Montana State's last loss was round 2 last year to the Bison.
And so every single game since then they've rattled off wins,
which was the season. Yeah. Keeper. Oh.
So it's a 6:00 kickoff down in Frisco.
Now, this is the last time they're going to be in, what do we say, Tennessee next year for the next couple of years?
I think Nashville.
Nashville doing some work at this stadium. I don't know if they're guaranteed coming back to Frisco after this or not.
I think it's in Vanderbilt, maybe.
It could change. Like we were saying earlier, okay, if the Montanas and the Bison and the Bunnies are going to be the staples, one of those 3 teams, 4 teams all the time, just have the game at the U.S. Bank. I mean, these fans are traveling great anyway. Put them in the 50,000-seat stadium.
Seems to be all northern teams.
Throw it.
FCS.
Oh, yeah, that's a catch. That's another Bison. First down. That's a pretty pass right there. He had to run a little bit for it, but it was right there, no one around. Catch, go out of bounds. Beautiful play.
So we're watching this live on ESPN. Yes. It's also on ESPN Plus, I think.
Yes, for you rich people who have ESPN Plus. Here in the trailer hood, we just got regular ESPN. So running play up the middle, gain of 5. Now we're going to be babbling about this, other sports topics, not just play-by-play for this game. If you want play-by-play, watch this later, turn the volume back up. You just want to have the game on, and because you're bored with those announcers, but hear the boys talking, that's us.
2nd and 5. Bison opening drive. Here we go. In the red zone.
Ball at 15. Kill. We'll be short of the line to gain, as they say.
Yes. So why did they say that last year or two is when they started?
Just to make this. Someone else said it. Now it's the thing to say. Line to gain. And one thing I noticed, I'll bring this up here now. One thing that bothers me a lot, especially with the Detroit games, I'm getting sick and tired of the overplay. A trick play. No, it's just not one of the common 5 plays you could get on Madden, I guess. So it's a trick play. Is that like saying a bunt and the runner steals from first in baseball is a trick play?
Yeah. I don't know the
Cam Miller with keeper.
Look at this.
He's at the 5. First and goal at the 4.
I was watching a football game a couple weeks ago with a friend, and the commentator said that this team leads the nation in explosive plays. And so my friend said, I don't get that. How would they possibly be able to gauge that or create a statistic around an explosive play? And I said, well, I've got the answer because we're here to educate, right?
That's what we do. We're here to educate. That's what we do.
Any line of scrimmage, any play in football that exceeds 20 yards is considered an explosive play. So that's how they're able to track that. 19 yards or less is just a normal play. But when you talk about explosive, it's any play over 20 yards. So they do track that. They do track that in college and high school and pros.
Nice.
I don't know what if it necessarily means anything or not.
Second and goal from the 3. And
a stifling defense.
He stuffed them
by the Bobcats. So South Dakota's done. Gronkowski is the quarterback.
He's going to enter either the portal or the draft.
He's going to enter the portal or the draft?
Yeah, because depending on what he thinks he's going to get drafted, he might do the portal. 3 of the 4 schools I heard he's going to or are looking at him: Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota. And I want to say it was Purdue was the other one, but it was another Big Ten school.
Okay.
So he's staying right around here, which is fine.
Not Nebraska or anything?
Could have been Nebraska. I can't remember. I'm old. My memory's not that good.
But it's a Big Ten.
Oh, Cam Miller with keeper. And touchdown, Bison.
Helmet off.
Wait. What is it? Boys.
Scored.
We're saying touchdown. Boys, play nice.
So the ruling on the field.
It's a touchdown. Lost his hat.
Well,
lost his little headband thing there. Not sure he's fixed my hair.
So where do you go? Kind of off tackle on the.
He's not even worried about his headband. That's what a tough kid.
Oh.
He goes. He tries to jump and go John Elway. And, he got booted in the head. That's how the helmet came off. Not an intentional kick. Just the foot came across. Hit right in the face mask. So he was pretty close to losing some teeth there. Kick is good. Okay, here's another word I don't like in sports. 7 donut. I don't like that donut term. Oh, he is bleeding.
Was he?
We have blood. Or as we say in pro wrestling, he's got some color.
He's got some color. Now, speaking of pro wrestling, any updates in the women's?
It's Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton's your women's champion.
So that's WWE?
Yep.
Okay.
She cashed in her Miss Money in the Bank the other day and on Friday Night SmackDown. And local girl she's from the Prior Lake. Now, Lisa in the commissary does not agree with that. She goes, she's not from Prior Lake like I'm from Prior Lake. Oh. Sorry, she wasn't born and bred there, so she can't say she was from. She just lived there for a while.
So Jimmy's her father.
Yes. From Metallica. They changed the name of the band. It's Metallica now.
So that band was AO and One for All.
And One for All.
But they changed the name for and One for All.
But they changed it to Metallica.
As a branding move, because I don't think they were probably spending too much time explaining what that meant.
Right. Everybody's going to do the Metallica songs. What's AO? What
does that mean? And so they rebranded. Jimmy's the lead guitarist there for the Metallica tribute band called Metallica. It's a Minnesota-based.
Yep.
So anyway, he's from Prior Lake. His daughter's Tiffany.
Yes. If you want her real name and her graduation stuff, look it up on Wikipedia like the rest of us.
Her stage name is Tiffany Stratton.
Yep.
And her moniker is It's Tiffy Time.
It's Tiffy Time. And she was in gymnastics. She started in wrestling just like a few years ago. No background, just gymnastics, and got into it. I don't know if she was a fan of it. And just said, hey, I'm going to try that. Because most athletes like her, male and female,
I'll be right back.
Are into gymnastics or something else, and they hurt a knee or an elbow or a bottle or something. Oh, a bottle in there too, please. Okay. And now she never had injuries. She just wanted to try something different. She did have some national rankings and placements.
Okay.
Just like Julia Hart and AEW cheerleader, national cheerleader stuff and gymnastics.
But how do you go from, hey, I'm a very good, obviously a tremendous athlete and a gymnast in tremendous shape,
Kent Anderson, local wrestler, has a wrestling school out in that area. That's where she went. He trained her.
And he says, you know what? She said, I'm going to go out into pro wrestling. And by the way, we're having an ice cold. Hams is our sponsor here tonight.
Yes. I'm not drinking the sponsor, so I'll keep it over here.
So she decides to go into wrestling. And this isn't, a 5-year plan to say, I'm going to
let's try it. It'll be fun. No, this was...
She did it, and did she, in your opinion, just excel so good? Or did she have the makeup and the character and they needed to inject to say, hey, let's write her into the script? Because she was she a heel?
Well, yeah, she always was a heel. And at first, when she first started, she had like zero personality, character.
Kind of blasé.
But the light comes on and she becomes Tiffany Stratton and boom. So her persona and her real life are not the same. Like a lot of them. The Miz is an exception because he's a prick all the time.
Who's that?
The Miz, Mike Mizzone. Okay. She was real shy. They said they were really worried that she wouldn't make it because she didn't have enough personality.
You have to have flash. You have to have.
But you look at her first early shots.
The moxie.
She's flexing. She had muscles. So she wasn't a little twiggy gymnastics. She was in shape. She did some bodybuilding and stuff. Physical education. She's not just a pretty face that can do backflips. She's an athlete. And kind of what I think you're seeing, that's what WWE was going after with their NIL people. Gable Stevens, college athlete.
Okay.
They tried to get the basketball twins. They tried to get them for a while. Tried to get athletes and it couldn't go.
Okay.
Tiffany, I don't know if she was one of that or just kind of got it under the radar. But hats off to her. She's the champ now. She won the belt from Nia Jax.
Okay.
There's a good run. 40, 50. Montana at midfield. Nia Jax is part of the whole. I believe she's somewhere on the bloodline for the whole Samoan family thing with The Rock and with Roman Reigns and all those guys. I think she's in that. But Nia Jax is a bigger gal. We'll just say it that way. But she is also a model, a plus-size model. I think those two off camera are really good friends. So when you have two good friends, you can get a good storyline going. You can work real well together. But yeah, so Tiffany's the champ now.
So she won, and what's that? A big briefcase of cash.
Yeah, what it is they have a match, Money in the Bank ladder match. They have this briefcase that has a contract in it that you can cash anytime for a title shot. 99 out of 100. It's when the champion just got the crap beat out of him and doesn't know which way's up. You run down to the ring with the referee and say, I'm cashing in. Either you put your finisher on him real quick or you just lay on top, 1, 2, 3, done. Takes about 10 seconds. That's what Tiffany did in this match. She gave Nia a hit with the belt with the briefcase, which was on the ropes. Another gal puts her finisher on her. Tiffany goes in, clears the ring with her briefcase, knocks everybody else out. So no one can stop her. That she was rough. I'm cashing in. Because you could come in mid-match and cash in. You could.
Got it. So it's not filled with cash.
It's just you're cashing in, it's called.
Okay.
There's a flag there. That no flag? They're letting it go.
So quarterback here is Tommy Malott. Big name.
Kind of like when the Bison play the Bunnies, these two quarterbacks are going to, like I see, you'll hear their names in the draft somewhere.
Both seniors? Is Malott
yes.
a senior? Okay.
Yes.
And Malott's got, as far as I know, he's got that it factor, that intangible, something about him as far as being a gamer that people really like. He's not the biggest.
His build reminds me of Drew Brees.
Runner.
He reminds me of Drew Brees, build-wise.
I can see that.
Kind of some muscle in the arms, but not big arms, And also out pass. Ball. Buys and recover the fumble.
Incomplete pass.
I don't know.
Let's see what they say.
What's the ruling on the field?
There's
some guys
fans.
with those clothes.
Topless guys in the front row here is what we're watching.
Fat guys with little ink.
With their chests painted, of course.
Yes.
Got to have that.
Incomplete pass. Still Montana ball, 4th down.
So Malott passed it. It got through the hands of the receiver.
He must not have made a football move. Let's see here. Got it. No, nope, never really got it.
It looked like he caught it and made a football move, but
as the leg came up to
here's
run.
the reverse angle.
catch. He was. I'm trying not to be a homer,
Must have
but
been bobbling.
he must
around,
have been bobbling from the front side. We couldn't see the front side there.
They thought they picked it up, but now it's fourth anyway.
Coach is not happy. He's discussing matters.
Now, how many coaches have the Bison had over all these reigns?
3.
The dynasty.
4. There's a thing we put on the social media. I don't have it with me now. The coaching tree that they've all had. Trickle on down, and how many of the other assistants that have gone on to other schools. There's an assistant with the Jaguars. A couple have gone big time, FBS schools. Some have gone pro. It's a very interesting, very good coaching school there. And I think a lot of it goes down. They say it was Coach Kine that they wanted to do his coaching tree. And someone goes, "That's actually the Tom Osborne coaching tree." Okay, this guy was an assistant off Tom Osborne. But how far back you drag the lines when you say it? You start with the guy. These are all coaches who just coached at North Dakota State. Osborne never coached here.
Right.
That's why they start with Coach Craig and went down from there. Now, there's one thing I don't. Again, we're not showing our slides as we go here, so I apologize for stuff like that. So let's go back to our social media last couple weeks to see this.
Yeah.
No, we've always said that every now and then they play like a college football game at a NASCAR track. They're doing baseball games this summer, Major League Baseball.
In a track?
In a NASCAR track, yep.
Oh, no, I have not heard of that.
Not at the same time as the race. It'll be at different times.
Gotcha. So the common one is the it's the LA Coliseum where they blacktop it.
That's where they do the NASCAR match, yep.
So you're talking a baseball field inside of a NASCAR track.
Yep.
Make a field out of it.
It's the Speedway Classic, they're calling it. Regular season game between the Braves and the Astros will be held at Bristol, Tennessee, August 2nd.
Wow.
That deserves a wow.
So
they're going to put a baseball field inside the track. I've seen some of the pictures of it. They have to put a little dirt over some of the corner of the track, but it will mostly fit in there. They're going to bring in the seats a little bit. You're not going to have to hit it 4 miles for a home run. So that should be pretty interesting. A lot of turf will be brought in for that.
So that's copying the old, number one, the NHL started playing outdoor ice hockey at Ice Hockey Day, or what they call NHL Classic, Ice Classic.
First of the year, they always do that.
Winter Classic at a baseball MLB park.
Yeah, it's either a baseball or a football stadium. They have it at football stadiums too.
Then you're getting some of these football games in baseball parks, like the Pinstripe Classic every year.
Pinstripe Bowl, the Fenway Bowl.
And the Fenway Bowl. And then next year, it is going to be
the Speedway.
So Northwestern, the college, is having their football field redone and are playing some of their games at Wrigley, or where is that?
I've seen some makeshift field down by the lake. They're kind of throwing something together. Why they can't play but Soldier Field, I have no idea. Why they couldn't figure out something with them, I don't know. You have a soccer team why you couldn't get another stadium to use, I have no idea.
Well, I thought I saw somewhere that the Gophers football are going to be playing them next year.
Yep.
Northwestern at inside Wrigley Field.
They might do a couple games at Wrigley, yeah.
Okay.
But,
but that would have to be later when the baseball season's done.
Yeah. So
okay. Fair enough.
Well, with the Cubs, that could be in July, but that's
wow.
Sorry.
So that's the theme, is things are getting popular that way, playing sports in non-sport, non-that sport arena. Target Field has done it with the local colleges.
Yep.
St. Thomas or NDSU will play football at Target Field.
Yep.
Now they're trying to do it with NASCAR. Interesting.
Getting back to what I said about the Winter Classic. Last year, now this year, the ratings have been going down and down and down. Finally, below 1 million viewers for it.
Okay.
Now, the last 3 years, it hasn't been on ESPN. It's been on TNT. Does that affect it? Maybe. I don't know. But viewership's gone down.
When it first started, it was
like 4 million viewers.
Different, right? It's different. And you also didn't know what the weather was going to be.
Well, and here's the sad part is,
now it's old enough that I don't think there's much interest.
Well, it's New Year's Day. You're playing opposite college bowl games. You're throwing on TNT, not ESPN, ABC. So it's getting lost in the shuffle there too. So I saw one guy online said he'd like to see it be a. Oh, did he catch that? I think he did.
It bobbled.
That's.
It squirted off.
There's laundry on the field.
Now,
That's
for the listeners here, Montana State had to go. They punted.
Yep.
There we go.
Well, there's our boys.
So the Bison have the ball back.
Personal pass interference, defense. Now, I think in college it's just 15 yards, not the spot of the foul, correct?
Here's the replay. Yeah, let's see here.
She was all over Mrs. Lance's boy. Or as Trey calls him, baby brother. Look at that. I didn't grab that much on prom night. Jesus.
He was all over that arm and wrist and forearm.
I didn't get that much play on prom night. Look at that.
Wow.
But yeah, the one guy said for the Winter Classic, have 3 games, like an 11 o'clock start, a 2 o'clock start, a night start.
Staggered, okay.
Stay around throughout in one channel, make people watch. With that idea, I heard someone say this, and I feel embarrassed I didn't realize this. The ratings for these games, the pro games on like Amazon Prime,
okay.
It's like, who's going to pay to watch a game on Amazon Prime? Why would the NFL Network want to do that? Wait, do you have Amazon Prime?
Yes.
And when you're watching that, you can't really flip channels back and forth, can you? You're stuck on that channel for a little bit.
Yes.
That was the NFL's idea. They're not going to flip and go to something else. They will stay on our game the whole time. You can't flip and check another game. You can't flip and check another show or catch the news real quick or something like that.
All right, so this is actual experience now. The missus and I cut our cable.
Yes.
This last spring.
You're going to the streaming services?
We're going to the streaming services, 2 of them, cutting all cable, and we got rid of all the equipment and the cords and cables all over the house.
You cut the cord, they say.
Cut the cord. One of my favorite things to do is just you're talking about on NFL football or college football or basketball for the Final Four is to hit that previous channel button and it'll go back to what you're previously watching.
Boom, boom, boom.
And what I do sounds like the same as you just get used to hitting that button. You get the 2 channels on that you want to watch for that period and just hit that and go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Well, that goes away. That goes away with the streaming service. You're on a channel and you're on a subscription watching a channel live. Now, maybe if you're listening and can comment, maybe you know how to do that, if there's a way to do it. I haven't found a way to do that. So if the NFL wants to put it on Prime to keep you there, that's not a bad...
Can you bring back those old TVs where you had picture-in-picture? You have 2 different... You got 2 tabs on your computer?
Yeah, so that's a good point, too. The TV that I have has
We're giving away these $1 million ideas.
I don't know how you would do that with a streaming service and have 2 things going at the same time. That would be your alternative. But once again, let's leave a comment if you know the answer.
We just gave away $1 million idea for free.
That's
what we do here, though.
That's what we do.
Give. Okay, Miller, run.
Look at this.
50, 45, 40, 35. Look at that son of a bitch go. There's no one around him. He's going down the middle of the field.
Right down the middle of the field.
Touchdown. No one touched him for like 60 yards. I swear to cow.
So the blocking downfield must have been
something happened.
4 yards.
Holy
he was
crap.
Literally, it looked like it's just a breakaway.
I could have scored on that. I'd had a heart attack from running that far, but
yes. Now Montana State's defense, I'm guessing, is mortified right now.
Oh, the defensive coordinator is fit to be tied.
5 plays, 92 yards. It's 13-0 ball game. Okay. That was embarrassing.
Also, I look up here. He's running down the middle of the field like.
Yeah. Then we got the wide hash marks in college football. There was no one. He was in between the hash.
He literally ran down the middle of the field, and no one ever caught him.
No one came at him from a different angle.
Okay, let's watch this to get what happened.
Caught up with him.
Let's see where it breaks down here.
Yeah, they're showing us the blocking here.
Those 4 guys there. Okay. Because the center's not blocking anybody. There was no one in the middle of the field for defense.
So that was a planned.
I don't think it was a planned run. I think just the way they lined up, he took advantage of it.
Got it. He saw the lineup.
He called it audible.
He took the snap and took really one step.
Yep. And okay.
And just took off running. That was it.
Cam Miller is an awesome athlete. Don't get me wrong.
He wasn't jumping over players,
but no cornerback or safety caught him.
So
hats off to the receivers for blocking.
I'd like to see how the blocking took place downfield because there was no one in the frame.
And those of you who watch
untouched.
Those of you who watch and follow know I'm a Bison guy. To be that open, someone got held. I'm sorry. You can't be that open unless they all just gave up after 10 yards and let them run.
So no flags, right? No
no
flags.
flags. Extra point was good.
So I'd like to see this. When
Either there was a
holding
holding or they gave up. That was unreal.
And this is, mind you, a championship title game. I
14-0 in the first quarter.
I'd like to see what happened to Montana State. The Bobcats. Looks bad for the Bobcats.
I'm not getting
defense.
cocky, but 14-0 is a little breathing room in this game. That's how you lay off.
Yeah,
like
you
we
got to
said,
keep the
you
throttle
got that
down.
foot on the throat, you keep choking.
Very interesting. Now, how much time is left in the first period? A couple minutes?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So, once again, we're living.
Wow, that was incredible, that play. Holy Christ. Holy cow.
That's one to watch.
Yeah, you'll see that in the highlight reel for a while.
To be that open in a title game, to not be touched and run 64 yards. And like Andy said, there was allegedly no holds, nothing going on.
But there had to be that wide open, my goodness. Unless the safeties and corners just gave up after 10 yards. Going, psh. And if they did, coaches are upset because you don't go 15-0 and have players give up after 10 yards.
Yeah, I got to see what's going on here. We're in a commercial break.
Something's amiss.
Something's goofy.
I got to give a quick, I'm sorry, I promised I'd give a quick shout out. I had a chance to go to the Timberwolf game tonight, be up in the suite and everything else. So I said, sorry, Bison's around. So Shane, hope you have a fun Timberwolf game. Or had fun if you're watching this later.
So, tickets in the suite for free, Wolves game. Tough to turn that down.
Yeah, but this is the Bison play for the championship. If this was semifinals, Dan, you might be doing a solo show. And now he's all – see, that's what I love. The boy just ran a 63-yard down the middle, and coach is still coaching him. You know, that's how you build a championship team. You don't get soft.
Yeah, I think the coaching at this level –
Okay,
and I'm talking
let's see the play again now.
Here
Where's the disconnect here? Okay, they both went – safeties each went to the sides and split. And that guy was supposed to come in the middle, and he did. He missed his assignment. He just stood there.
Oh, it was middle linebacker.
And everybody had turned. It was almost.
Oh, there we go. Guy behind him.
Oh, they were catching up to him then.
But the D-backs, I think we're all left in the dust.
I mean, it was literally they didn't shuffle their feet when they ran. They turned their back to the middle of the field, so they didn't see him breaking.
Well, this will be interesting now because this is a 14-0 lead. We got a minute 45 left in the first period.
Coach is discussing matters with the boys right now. I'm sorry. I gotta keep it down. Got shadow.
Wow.
Upset here. Be loud.
Oh, this is shocking.
Yeah, 14-0. Now, if it would have been like an interception back, okay, I see. It's been held them, punt, score.
This is just their second possession.
Yep.
For Montana State.
2nd and 8. Run play again. Almost.
Looks like a
third and 2. 3rd and 1.
Third and a long 1 or 2.
He's got some salad.
Look at the salad there.
Nice. Note that down. We want him on the show, number 36.
So we're also watching the crawl at the bottom of the screen here on ESPN for other additional topics here as we go.
Now, the NFL ended yesterday.
Regular season's done.
Now, I know I've heard some scuttlebutt that Kansas City rested everybody and threw the game. Did the Vikings do that too, and we just didn't get the memo? Because the way they played, you'd think they were resting and said, screw it, we're a 5 seed.
Well, it was a hard game to watch offensively for the Vikings.
Held them, 4th down.
With the weapons that the Vikings have, with Addison and Hawkins Smith,
Hawkinson and
TJ Hawkinson, you get Addison, you get Justin Jefferson, and Aaron Jones and Sam Darnold. Most of those guys were on the Pro Bowl roster.
And if they weren't, they arguably should have been.
So huge offense. What the Detroit Lions did was they didn't leave Justin Jefferson open at all. Addison, I don't think, was open at all.
But they blitzed all the time. They said, fine, beat us with that.
Hawkinson, hardly at all. It was the backup running back, Cam Akers, I think, rattled off a 29-yard run or something. That was nice. The rest, Detroit gave Minnesota the Vikings defense plan.
Yep.
And they shoved it down their throat. That's the end of the first period. So Detroit wins. They get the number 1 seed. They're going to play at home the rest of the way here. They finish 15-2. Vikes go to 14-3. Vikes got swept this year, 2-game series by Detroit, and drops them to the 5 seed. Now, in the meantime, the Packers got beat at home.
Yep.
They fall to 7. And so the Vikings will play on the road against the Rams on Monday night. So there's going to be...
Which is one of their 3 losses here.
One of the 3 losses. Their biggest loss coming into the game last night this year was to the Rams. They lost by 10. And so now they got to go back to SoFi Stadium, where they lost by 10 earlier in the year, week 8, I think, and take them on. Now, should they beat them? Yes. It's the playoffs. Anything could happen. Who knows? Could the Vikings lose? Anything could happen. But I'm guessing they'll be favored and should win. But if they win, the winner of that game comes back to Detroit to play the Lions in Detroit.
Yep.
In the divisional game.
I mean,
so
the Detroit coach told the Viking coach, see you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.
So he was kind of dissing the Rams. So if the Rams, that's going to be bulletin board material for them, to use a saying from our kids. See, back in the day, you had just newspaper clippings. You save that, cut it off, and put it on the bulletin board in the locker room. Hence, bulletin board clipping.
Bulletin board material, yes, to get the team fired up.
Hey, look what they said about us. Look what they said about us. So, A, was he trying to juice up the Rams so they beat the Vikes? Because, like we said earlier, you don't beat a team 3 times in a year. But then again, now, you just juice up the Rams when they play you in 2 weeks. So you're playing with fire both ways saying that.
Yeah. Now, Dan Campbell is very good with the comments and the commentary.
Yes.
So people like him. People respect him. He walks the walk, talks the talk, and he can back it up. So I think that's why he's getting all the love. Detroit hasn't been there, so they're kind of the darlings of the NFL, if you will.
Well, some people were saying the Vikings were the darlings this year because they were supposed to do so horrible and were doing well.
They kind of
everybody but me in the state loves Kevin O'Connell. I'm not a Viking fan, so that's why I don't like him. I mean, I don't get it. You got guys that are supposed to be so good and
so talented.
And Jared Goff last night, I'll say this about Jared Goff in his career. He reminds me a little bit of a Brett Favre, but also a Jeff George or who's the other guy for the Bears?
McMahon.
No. Anyway, it'll come to me later. There's gunslingers back there.
Yeah.
Goff threw 5 interceptions in a game and they won it. He threw 5 touchdowns in a game and lost. So he's that type of – he's got no problem. He's got the arm to chuck it down 45 yards. The one interception Harrison Smith had was a can of corn fly ball to him. No one else around him. But 5 times out of 8, that gets caught by the Lions. Once it's interception, twice it's just overthrown. So
the Vikings now –
second 3 coming up for –
assuming they win – at SoFi Stadium against the Rams. They come back to Detroit. Everyone's going to have Detroit.
Are they going to spend $2 million for an extra 1,000 tickets again, you think?
Oh, jeez.
That guy blew up in everybody's face, too.
That was interesting. So the tough thing to do in the NFL is when it comes to a division foe that you play twice a year, the teams that sweep the opponent and win both, if you end up facing them later in the postseason, sometimes you'll win just because of the fact that it's
stand them up
3 times to beat the same team 3 times in a single season is tough in any sport.
I don't care if you have 2 of those games at home. That's hard to do.
It's hard to do. So the Vikings could have a chance just because of the superstition, if you will. But Detroit's going to be favored. They could run the table with all this. Who knows what's going to happen? But I think that the defensive coordinator for Detroit had such an impressive game plan, an attack, that the Vikings on offense never got comfortable doing anything.
I just hope the Vikings aren't looking ahead going, okay, we know how to attack Detroit next time. You got to beat the Rams first.
Yeah.
Stop him. First down, Montana.
So Rams are what, 10-7? They're one of those. I think there's 4 teams or 5 that are 10-7 going in.
Before they went to 17-game schedule, a 10-6, which is better than, but 10-6 teams are considered pretty darn good.
Yep.
You're 10-7 going, oh well, that one extra loss, I don't know. 10-6, 10-7 means the same thing. 9-7, you're all that same kind of.
You're all the same
grouping there.
So all those teams that made it are going to be heavy underdogs, I'm assuming.
There were so many.
Seattle was 10-7 and didn't make it. They were the only team with 10 wins to not
make the playoffs,
which is tough in any situation to win 10 games in football and be eliminated.
Win 14 and be a 5 seed.
Well, the other thing is
he got that pass off.
You can be 14-2, be a 5 seed, and lose the first game or lose the second game.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Detroit now. They got the 1 seed to get the bye. Oh, that'll be good for them. They got a lot of injuries. Man, that bye can kill you if you got momentum going too. You're playing with your second, third string guys and you're winning. You almost don't want that week off. But you don't lose a game to keep playing either.
Yeah, it's an interesting,
because Vince Lombardi had a great saying: "Winning's contagious. Unfortunately, so is losing." So you don't lose a game to seed yourself better, which some teams have done in basketball. LeBron James and the Lakers. Don't worry. Oh no, not a reverse. And,
is that a
first down
play?
I'm not sure, but it would be a reverse. And the quarterback was going to get sacked, but they ended up pushing him 3 yards ahead when they hit him.
So in the second quarter,
no, it was a fake double reverse.
A fake double reverse.
And then he tries to pump up for the pass and just keeps going, and
no one open.
Ends up being a gain of 2 instead of a sack loss for 3. But
so 14-0 Bison.
Second quarter, 11.5 to go. First and 10.
This game's moving along.
Other side of the 50 at about 43-yard line.
So the Vikings should be interesting.
Oh, here you go.
Vikings should be interesting. The whole NFL should be interesting.
Yeah. Tampa Bay is a scary team to watch. They're hot right now. Baker Mayfield, I kind of have a thing for Baker Mayfield, a little man crush.
Nice. And they're playing at home, which is always tough in the NFL.
That's why I thought the Vikes would have gone there first. If Green Bay didn't lose, the way things were lined up, they would have had Tampa at home, or at Tampa's home. And that could have been a tough one. I mean, that game really could have gone either way. I don't know. I haven't seen any of the point spreads yet on the Vikings-Rams. The home team gets 3 points. But I don't know what the odds are going to be for that game.
Well, that'll be interesting. What they've got here, because now there's the 6 games in the wild card weekend. And so there's 2 on Saturday, afternoon and a night game.
Yep.
3 on Sunday, staggered.
Yep.
1 on Monday night. And the Vikings is the Monday night game. So once again, all the attention will be on you. Again, all the other teams are going to be sitting at home
and
watching.
You'll know where you're going if you win.
You're already going to know. And so I did look up, Andy, the 6 games, 3 are either indoors or in the South. 3 could be in inclement weather in January.
Green Bay,
Baltimore, Philly, Green Bay. Green Bay's
at Philly.
Okay, so who's the other one then? It's Baltimore, Philly,
Buffalo.
All have home games. And with all these random storms and the coldness blowing through, things could be a little dicey this weekend. But the other 3 are either down south or in a dome.
In a dome, they say.
They'll have no weather concerns.
Or both.
They're Vikings.
Because Houston's a both. They're a dome that's down south.
Okay. The other one is Tampa. Yep. So that'll be interesting. Now, and then we're going to be down to the divisional round the week after that.
Everybody around here in Minnesota was getting so excited. Oh, Buffalo, Minnesota for Super Bowl. Whatever. Let's get through the first round, make playoffs first.
Yeah, it's a week to week. You're living week to week in the NFL playoffs.
We talked about
you can't look past anyone.
There's a couple of things that happened yesterday in football in the NFL that kind of bothered me as reading about it.
Okay.
First of all, we talked about Tampa Bay up by 8. Mike Evans needs 5 yards to tie the record for consecutive 1,000-yard seasons.
He's at 995 yards.
He gets it to play for like 8 yards. Tampa's up by 8 with like 13 seconds to go. I'd take the knee. It's not like
late in the game.
It's not like one of those high school games where the girl's got a bad, dislocated her knee first week of the season. Oh, she needs one basket for 1,000. They let her come out with her crutches and get the basket. Other team gets a basket, they score. That's fine. This was the end of the game. They didn't have time to set this up,
so they could have lost an interception
because it was only 8 points. The interception, the snap goes wrong. Take the knee, take the win.
Evans could have gotten hurt. They've already locked in a playoff spot.
Someone tackles him, goes for a knee, and a cheap shot.
So 5 yards short. So they probably said, "Hey, let's do a short pass to get him into the record books."
I hate to say Bush League, but I just don't like the fact he did it.
One could argue Bush League, though.
The second one I don't like, and again, this is one of my boys, I don't like it. Josh Allen was in for one snap, and they pulled him, so you have a consecutive game streak. I don't like that. If a starting pitcher has to go 5 innings to get credit for the win, to get credit for starting and being in the game, you should have to play at least a quarter for football.
So he
was there for one snap. Consecutive start streak continues. That's crap.
Well, they also have. I heard a lot in the games yesterday. The end of the year incentive bonuses that people are close to reaching.
Yep.
And so if you get number of carries, number of receptions, benchmarks that your bonuses are paid on. Let's see, your team's not in it. Team is out of the playoffs. You're close. They'll feed you the ball to get this extra incentive. Or they could not feed you the ball. Or they could not pass to you to not get the incentive.
3rd and 4th to 15 for Montana State.
Some of those things go on as well.
Well, that was Dallas's quarterback. He had a thing if he had so many percentage of passes for the year, he'd get a bonus. He could have got in that game if they didn't bench him for Trey Lance.
So then he missed the bonus.
Yep.
So if late in the season, usually it's week 16, week 17, or in the NFL now it's actually 17 and 18 weeks.
Yeah.
That if your team's not in it, you may want to pay attention just for some of these oddball things that go on at the end of the season.
Quarterback, he's down. 4th down.
So Montana's going to kick here, right?
I would hope.
Take the points.
If they've learned anything from watching the Viking game yesterday, they will.
Well, the Vikings lost and played sloppy, but they also missed some field goals.
Yep. He bounced a couple off.
So the Viking game yesterday was indoors in a dome, no wind, no rain, no elements. 2 of those field goals, 6 points right there, you miss, and all of a sudden,
oof. He barely got that in.
He made it 14-3.
Shadow's excited the Bobcats scored. Yeah.
5:38 left in the first half.
Whoa. He's coming out the high five. The coach is excited.
All excited.
Pumping everybody up.
They held him to 3.
Yep.
So the Vikings elect to draft a kicker. It's not as common to do that. You pick them up, free agent, you trade, you'll get one guy and stick with them. Typically, it's not something that's on your draft radar to get a guy out of college. But the Gophers did it with this dude from Alabama, right? They get him. He's been spot on all season, but in the game that counts, now you miss 2. So rookie guy, nerves. I don't know.
He played for Alabama. He was in national championships. He's been there.
You've been in big games with sellout crowds playing for the national title championship game for Alabama.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time saying it's nerves, but I don't know. But that game was close to 3 quarters, and then they pushed on the pedal.
And Gibbs had a great game. Hats off to him. 3 running, 1 receiving touchdown. Not many fantasy leagues were playing last week, but if you had him last night, you better have won. You got
the reception that he caught. He chucked the ball into the crowd. Did you see? Where the guy
that's full, caught it with.
The guy filming it with his camera had the video mode on his camera in the end.
Hey, here goes the ball. What an idiot.
And watch. Well, it was the good part of it. The first part was he recorded the touchdown. I
want to know if
how many feet away.
Was he doing like one of these, not watching the phone anymore, and just excited, and hey, the ball's coming.
Jamar Gibbs scores and does one of these big chucks up into the crowd, the football. Now, what do they charge them? What is the fee?
To an NFL player, nothing.
To an NFL player, yeah.
To you and me,
he throws it up there.
Saturday overtime.
Fair game for the crowd. The dude taking the film, it comes at him and knocks the camera out of his hands.
Some people's kids.
One of those random things. But Jamar, on most teams, I think, should be or would love to be the featured back, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they get David Montgomery. And the last 2 years, they've platooned those two guys.
Yes.
And it's worked out for both. Maybe better for Montgomery. He gets a lot of the short yardage plays and whatnot for the touchdowns. But Jamar Gibbs is the beast. I had him in fantasy last year. That's why.
I had Montgomery this year.
And so those guys are good. But in the back of your mind, you're kind of hoping from a fantasy perspective that the other guy gets hurt so your guy can get all the carries or all the workload. Well, David Montgomery now, with being hurt, Jamar Gibbs is a full-time workhorse now. And so I think he loves it. I think he would love to get 30 carries a game every single week is what I think. So, but in the playoff atmosphere of yesterday's game, he took it to the house, 3 touchdowns. So Gibbs is the real dude, the real deal. I'm a Gibbs fan, of course, but Andy, what's your thoughts? Do you think Jamar would love to get the ball 30 times a game?
Yes, he'd love to be the man.
Every week. Yep. Every week, I think Jamar would love to be the workhorse, but they got Montgomery. So it's a good problem to have, but they got 2 good backs.
I think this is where it comes down to coaching, though. Do you want to get 30 touches a game or you want a chance at a ring? Priorities,
Yeah, and I think with using those 2, 10, 12 carries each.
Yep.
Some screen passes out of the background. It doesn't get a chance to work up their stats that much. But I think it will be fun now with Jamar being the focal point.
Sorry, guys, you didn't see my ugly face there for a little bit. I had to fix stuff on the computer. Didn't mean to scare you. In your living room.
So we got a good game here. It's coming up on the half. This is our
14-3
first ever watch along
for a full game.
FCS. We focus on them during the entire season, whether it's Montana State, South Dakota State, NDSU, UND. These seems to be the teams in the same hunt all the time.
Craig Bowl had 3 national championships. Killen had 4, so that's 7 on 2 coaches. Coach Mack got 2, so that's 9.
So when we're saying coaching, with North Dakota, it's not just they have a great head coach and they do well. The coach leaves and the team falls flat, like you see sometimes.
It's usually always been someone else.
This is an entire staff that's good.
Yep.
So the Bison have a situation, I don't want to call it a plug and play, but it really doesn't seem to matter too much who's running the show.
It's the same show.
It's the same show. You got good offense. You got defense.
And they've changed it up a little bit this year. This year's team's been a little more pass-orientated last year or two.
Okay.
But a lot of that comes down to who you got. If you can keep recruiting big-time running backs, then you throw the ball down their throat. I mean, the Gophers, that was their MO for years when they had
Decker.
No, Decker was receiver, but they had
Daryl Thompson.
I'll say Darren Nelson. Daryl Thompson that year. The other running back they had there, he went to New England for a couple of years as a pro.
Oh, it starts with Mahoney. Lawrence Mahoney.
They had the running back you there for a little bit. We were a great running team for a while. But then all of a sudden, now you dropped a decent quarterback or a decent receiver. Now you're going. The Bison were always good running back
for
teams.
the most part, it's the same playbook.
Yep.
And depending on the class with the roster, it may shift a little bit one way or the other, passing, whatever. But NDSU is always good. The last couple of years, they at least had a couple of losses. But, boy, they've got 9 titles, 9 national championship. And since they've been good, here's what I think. And I want to get your opinion, Andy.
I'm here.
UND was never that good. South Dakota, SDSU was never that good. The Montana teams came out of nowhere. They just started copying the NDSU playbook, right?
SDSU. Okay, well, it's kind of like
the blueprint. I'm sorry, not the playbook.
Okay,
they took the blueprint.
I think a lot of it here is, and I'm going to. Whoa, what's that? Oh, there was some extracurricular
flag went down.
There was some
after the play out of bounds.
Let's compare it to local high school stuff around here. Minnetonka, Wayzata, Edina all got so big. Ian Prairie got so big. Chanhassen started getting all these kids for sports.
Okay.
Look at Chanhassen sports out of nowhere. Football, hockey, basketball, they're all up there for the state titles all the time. So they're getting the overflow from Minnetonka, Ian Prairie, Edina, Wayzata.
So the excess players.
And I'm not taking away from what South Dakota State has. Great coaching, great this, that, and everything else. SDSU.
But are they also copying the model or the?
Well, a little bit of that. A little bit of that, but only so many kids go at NDSU. So many kids are going, I could ride the bench with the Gophers, or I could start at NDSU.
But there must have been a wave a couple of years ago of people going to SDSU because the Jackrabbits.
Well, because there was no more room at NDSU.
Became unstoppable.
I know.
And then you get teams like
the Bobcats,
Montana State, UND,
and I think they were getting the overflow from Washington, Oregon, stuff like that. Do I want to ride the bench there? Maybe be a third string there, or start here?
Yeah, it's gotten. And
fun. Montana thought, you know what? Let's give the scholarship shot. I know when I was at NDSU 30 plus years ago, a lot of their players were going to the Canadian Football League.
Okay, because they have so draft luck with the NFL.
Right, but the Canadian Football League isn't going to get a lot of guys from Texas or Florida to go up there and play there. But NDSU, SDSU, Montana State, they'll go to Canada. I'm sure I'm 10 minutes from Winnipeg anyway, or feels like 10 minutes.
Interesting.
So, not saying this is the same style of football as Canadian Football League, but that's the fan base you're getting watching it.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Minnesota or North Dakota get a lot of kids from Alabama? Because we're not going to send our scouts to Alabama. Those kids want to stay by Alabama to play. That's where they're from. It's going to be hard to get them up here. That's like go for hockey. Why can't we recruit the Minnesota kids? They should have grown up watching Gopher hockey. Want to play here. But St. Cloud State started getting extra Gopher players. UND.
Mankato State.
North Duluth got extra Minnesota players for hockey. And now they also are going to Notre Dame after a while. And now if you look at, especially on our channel, because we showed it there for the Facebook. North Carolina hockey is growing. Alabama hockey is growing. Arizona State have hockey. Arizona State plays in the Big Ten for hockey. Arizona State.
Oh, my God.
You know, so these sports are growing because Minnesota kids, there's only so many schools here they can play at. They got to go somewhere else. That's the way it was with football. So many kids that want to kind of stay local here for the Bison or North Dakota area, well, they can't all go there.
It became a University of Minnesota JV squad, essentially. You know, similar to wrestling in college.
Yep.
Augsburg in D3 became a JV Minnesota team. Guys couldn't get, there wasn't enough weight, not enough scholarships, too many guys of the same weight. You drop down to Augsburg and become a starter, and you know you're going to go to the.
But you tweak your skills in the minor league, they'll recruit you. Then you can portal your way out later.
Yes.
There's our salad guy right there. He's got a poster. There's Santa down at the Bison game.
Santa with a brown beard. So the portal, I think the main use of it was guys on scholarship that thought they were going to be big deal. And then they go to a big school and you know what? You're a reserve or you're a backup. So use the portal, say, I'm going to go to a smaller school or a not as good, and that can be an immediate starter. And I get that part.
Yep.
But now guys are already starters at universities saying, I'm going to go to a portal to be a starter at a bigger school yet.
Yes, I'm doing well here at 3M. I want to go to IBM now.
Yes. You know. So now they're almost exploiting the whole thing, and which is also fair enough. They're not breaking any rules. You can do it. But the whole portal is very interesting because you're kind of picking and choosing now.
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to play up here. I'm going to go somewhere else.
What do you teach them? And the sad thing is they're kind of doing that in the NFL by signing one-year deals. Get him. Hit him. Thank you.
Ooh, stayed in.
He stayed in, though. Gain of 1.
So there's people using the
inches.
portal. There's people utilizing the portal. There's people exploiting the portal. And then there's guys going into the portal because they can and say, I'm going to try it out, get my feet wet. There's no penalty. And then they just come back off and rescind my offer. And then that go back to what I'm doing. So
like the kid from South Dakota State turned down $1 million. They were going to pay him $1 million to play college football.
So now
and he turned that down to stay at NDSU. Okay, if these kids are getting NIL money, okay, these schools are making bank on football anyway, so it's irrelevant. But to me, it's principle. If you have an NIL deal, you should not get a scholarship. It's like
I agree with that.
It's like if your dad is Donald Trump or Bill Gates and you still get your student loans. Wait a minute. Why? How are you qualified for student loans? Your dad's freaking Bill Gates or Donald Trump. You know what I mean? These guys are getting millions of dollars and still getting a scholarship.
So how did the NIL all start? Because college students never got paid. That was the whole point of not being paid. But the NIL was name, image, and likeness that they could use ads.
My opinion,
Clark, Paige Becker's ads for you and give you some money. You're not being paid to play.
Right.
But now it's turned into that.
In my opinion, it all started because of video games. NCAA college football video game. Okay. These kids are going, hey, wait, that's me in that game. Why am I not getting paid for that?
Yeah.
You're putting my face on these shirts. Why am I not getting paid for that?
I see. So lawyers and attorneys got involved and says, okay, hey, we can help you out. You can get a little money here. So now they did this. And it started off, Paige Becker's got a Gatorade deal or a Nike shoe, or Caitlin Clark got her brand of a Nike basketball shoe, something like that. But like you said, Gronowski was getting paid to play football. He didn't have a deal. He
didn't have a snap yet. That school said, we'll give you $1 million to come here and play. He was going to have $1 million in his bank account and never take a snap there. He could have broke a leg that first play. He's got $1 million in his pocket.
So guaranteed. And this has nothing to do with advertising or a product or a brand or you have a line of clothing or something.
The school's going to say, hey, come see player X play at our school.
Bring in the fans to the seats. So
therefore, name and image likeness.
So they got NIL money. They've got the portal that you can come in and go out of anytime you want, willy-nilly. It's really throwing a kink into all this stuff.
But that's it too. At basketball, football is ruining it worse, I think, maybe because you hear about it more because it's football. But like we've said before, as much as I'm against it, another reason it all started, again, TV, video games for basketball and football. There is no minor league for those two sports. This is it. That's why I think college baseball and hockey don't do so well. Because why should I watch college baseball? I'm not going to hear his name for 5-6 more years.
Yeah,
maybe 2 or 3 for a few, but on average 5 years, if at all, for some of these guys. I'm going to forget about them. I'm going to forget about these college hockey guys because I won't hear their name.
They can be drafted. They're going to go in the minors. I'm not going to hear about them until they become big names.
But that's why in hockey you see them all go for their European leagues or this, that. So these college guys are getting paid for hockey. But baseball, college baseball is where you kind of take it in the shorts myself, I think, financially compared to the rest. And they're taking it in their shorts just as bad as, again, like, broken record here, the swim team, the track team, the whatever team.
Cross country.
They don't get nothing for name and image likeness. You never hear the gymnast going, I'm going to go over here. I get more money for name and image likeness over here. You're not. You don't hear the volleyball player doing this or that. You hear them want to transfer because, man, we got 3 goalies here on the hockey team already. I really think I could deserve to start somewhere. And this school still offers what I want for education, so I want to transfer there. That part I got no problem with.
Yeah.
It's not the back of what, I don't go to that school. I actually saw the transfer portal, and now this is the time it worked out. A guy went from FBS to FCS.
Okay.
Maybe that school's going to still offer what he's getting. He likes to play. He could start. He's probably knowing that this football isn't his career, but this football is paying for his education to get his career.
Okay.
So those guys who are doing that, I can live with that. Montana State has the ball just inside the 50. 2nd and 9. Drop back. He got it off somehow again, but incomplete. Whoa.
Minute 14 left. Now, Montana State needs some kind of points here, right?
Yeah, they need a touchdown, and they will get the ball back to start the second half. So they really kind of need this touchdown here and start with the ball back for a little momentum.
Do they want to score? They don't want to score too soon here to give the Bison the ball back. They want to try to.
They could. A minute 14. You're hopefully you hold the Bison back. You're still getting back-to-back possessions.
Each team has 3 timeouts.
3rd and 9 in minute 14. They need a first down plus to get in the field goal range here. Rushes on, and he is sacked.
Never went down.
He never went down.
He's celebrating.
He's celebrating, but the camera guy shows him running. His knee must have hit somewhere back there.
Let's see this again. He got twisted up.
I don't
looked
think
like a sack.
I did.
But the quarterback spun out.
He started running like he never hit the ground. Let's see what he does here. And
his knee never went down.
His knee never went down. And they're all celebrating.
So the Bison guys are celebrating the sack, doing a dance, and the quarterback is running upfield.
They still got 6 more yards.
Let's see this. Oh, he landed.
Elbow went down. Did his elbow go down, I think?
I don't think any of it did. It landed on – he pulled him down on
elbow
himself.
counts as down, though. Did that elbow go down on the other arm?
Oh, my God. That is awesome. There's going to be a meme.
And hand is down. Elbow never went down. Well, if he blew the whistle – I mean, he still didn't get the first down, but still, it's principle. It's 5 more yards.
Awareness.
Again, it's the whole celebrating thing that makes me want to vomit.
Yeah.
Especially in pro football. Now, I didn't see the whole Viking game yesterday. Did they do their little choreographed dance or anything? Because they were behind the whole time. They had no right to do that. My opinion.
Their only points were touchdowns.
Or field goals. But
I think that there was an interception or a.
Did they do a little dance?
Yes, the choreographed thing.
That makes me vomit.
So. What Andy's talking
I did
about
see
here is
St. Brown
there
or whatever.
used to be the single, the Mark Gastineau.
Oh, wait, here we go. They're coming back out. They're going for it. 4th and 5.
1:05 left.
This is big time. Because you're still close enough for
the Bison used a timeout. So they have 2 left. Montana State's got 3 left to go. But they need to convert here.
You can try to draw off for his first down? Are they actually going to run it?
Boy.
Drop back. He's way back. No good.
Threw it out of bounds. Overthrew.
Bison take over
around midfield with a minute left, 59 seconds.
Bison are 15, 20 yards from a field goal with a minute to go.
Now you have 2 timeouts left. Now do you try to get down there and kick a field goal?
I would if I was the Bison.
Or try to score?
You want to try to show it out?
Talk about a statement.
It's a championship game. You don't leave points on the field, baby.
Jeez.
Okay. And plays like this by the quarterback. They said about Sam Darnold last night how that game cost him $10 million on his contract for next year. Is this affecting this kid's draft for Montana State if he keeps doing
Tommy Malott? That did not look like he was.
He might be a trading camp invitee now instead of a draft pick. Trips left, man out to the right.
Yeah, they're
Ooh.
One thing you don't want here is an interception, fumble, turnover, or something.
No, they just try to went to safe underneath. 4 seconds off the clock.
So they got the 2 timeouts left.
2nd and 10.
You're at midfield. All you need is a couple plays, out of bounds, timeout, and just.
Now, see, in college, the clock doesn't stop on first down anymore. Yeah, they need a good 20 yards, 25 yards for a field goal. It's always the pros where he's got to get just over the 50. They got to get down by the 35 for it. Throw the damn ball, Cam.
Look at this. Now he's going to run it. He doesn't need to get out of bounds.
There he is, just inside the 50.
Okay.
Be third and a couple.
So what Andy was talking about before was the sack dance.
Yeah, Mark Gastineau.
The individual would do a celebration for something he was known for doing, take a couple seconds, and get back to the game. Now what you're seeing is the whole offensive line, defensive line.
Well, one guy intercepts, and some guy with nothing to do with it's waving everybody down for their dance.
And to do a 10-guy 11-guy choreographed, practiced
Now,
dance in the end zone.
the only team celebration that I think is first down, Bison out of bounds. Think back to your youth, your Ute,
Two Utes?
the Washington Redskins, the fun bunch.
Yes.
That where 8 guys got together for a big high five in a circle. Great. That's okay. I can live with that. When you're doing these old choreographed dances from movies that were up before these kids were born, you're embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourselves. You're embarrassing people.
So I think with the Vikings, it's Cam Bynum, right? He's the
Whoever.
organizer for all this. And they practice, and they must practice enough
Well,
to get these things down pat. Now, is
they
that the
spent too
best
much
use
time
of your
doing that
time?
then they should
Well, see,
more time practicing for the Lions game.
that's where one could argue that if your job is to play pro football, do you have time to be sitting around creating these things? Are they fun to watch? Sure. I don't care. It's mainly the youth. Kids like to watch it. I'm not a big fan of it. But it's choreographed dances, not a celebration.
Yeah, you're
Like
doing,
an actual dance move
doing
that
a
they're
dance
mimicking from a dance routine that's identical to something that was done in 1985.
second 3. That's inside field goal territory at the 25.
Yes. They don't even need to
Clock it. 34
They
seconds. We're
did.
doing okay. Oh, they called timeout. Okay.
or first down
Oh, first down slows it down. Then they call time.
until they get the chains going.
Yeah.
Now it starts.
Here we go. Tick, tick, tick.
Now they call. So now they're already in
See,
field goal range.
Like I said, I had no problem with the fun bunch. Icky Woods, Nicky Shuffle was cool.
Billy White
Shoes Johnson with his little thing, that was cool. But you know what the best was? Barry Sanders. Just give the ball to the ref and go to the sideline and get
Yep.
there before. That's why you could never say anyone who says a bad word about Barry Sanders, I have a problem with. Because how could you say something bad about him? He was class act. Jerry Rice was in the same boat. He was pretty class act.
You catch the ball, you score a touchdown, you give the ball to the ump, and you're
Maybe a
wrapped and you're
spike. I'll be okay with a spike of the ball.
done. Gronkowski was known for the spikes.
But he kind of made it a deal.
You know, but those were touchdowns. Those were points on the board celebrations. We're seeing now a lot of
You pick up a
celebrations
fumble.
on field for a first down.
And the one guy who had nothing to do with it's waving all his buddies down to do it. Dude, you were on the other side of the field. Get away.
So it's more camera time, right?
Yep,
They
yep.
want to be in the camera. Now, what started most of this was the XFL had that camera TV in the bottom by the
Yep.
end zone. And they knew on one side of the field, if you scored a touchdown down
Ball.
there was a live camera video feed. right
Cam
in
Miller
front of
running
that.
and down. Is he still in field goal range? I hope so.
I think so. So kids and the players got in the habit of running to that.
Yep.
To celebrate interception, first down, touchdown, end of the game, whatever. So no, I think the NFL has that same camera, I think, because they
Idea.
run down there and they have the same idea. And the NFL is very good at making fun of the XFL, making fun of the UFL,
Taking
making
their
fun
ideas
of
and
the
rules.
USFL. But they take the good rules and they move it in. We're seeing this now with
Kickoff.
how the kickoffs, all these things, they're utilizing the things that are successful.
But didn't the NFL a few years ago say, hey, we want you to show more enthusiasm after you score in a tournament? So the NFL asked for all this, and now sometimes when they do dance and stuff, they call it for excessive celebration.
Or even taunting. And then
Yeah.
you're doing it towards someone else. So it's
To me,
it created just a monster.
I got no problem with taunting. Let him taunt. You're just pissing the other guy off, and he's going to you're fanning fuel on the fire. Okay, we're second, 28 seconds to go. Ball about the 23-yard line. Definitely a field goal range here. Bison want to try to get 7 on the board instead of 3. Offsides, Bison.
Right tackle, I think, jumped.
Yep. There he jumped.
You really, all you need to do here with the false start is the lineman, and I don't know where the teaching of this goes wonky, but you can just look to see when the ball's hiked.
Well, they were offset though a little bit there, so he was listening for something.
So you know the count, you know when it's going to be the
Yep.
cadence.
But it's always the outside guys that get it. You know, you never see the right by the guy right by the or the tackle right by the center there. I heard the one on the Viking last night. Offsides, everybody but the center.
Yeah, that's exactly what he
There's
said.
Cam Miller off the middle. 20, 15, 10, down at the 8.
Now look,
21 seconds. Go, go, go.
Oh,
They
no
want to spike
timeouts.
it. They want to spike it. Clock it. Go, 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 go. Clock it. Stop to move the chains. Boom. Spike. I do the Dan Marino spike.
Now the question here, it's only second and goal.
Oh, you got 19 seconds. You got time for a couple plays.
So that's
Fade
what I
the
like
end zone.
about the live show here is that we can talk about this. Do you kick the field goal and get it
Nope.
done with?
Burn some time, run a couple plays.
It's only second down.
You have Mrs. Lance's boy, Trey's little brother.
2 plays. So the ball
Yeah.
has to be into the end zone.
Yep. And
Or
make sure
incomplete or out of bounds.
Yep.
And you can't take a sack.
you're at the 8. You're not running a 4-yard out of bounds. You're going end zone. But and Cam Miller's quick and he's athletic enough. Don't jerk around back there enough. If there's nothing, you run up the middle.
3-step and get rid of it.
And what do
Or
you
run.
What are you standing there for? There he throws it out of bounds. Did you catch it?
Uh-oh.
Caught at the goal line.
At
Clock
the one? At the 1 foot line?
Yeah, clock stopped though because he was out of bounds. So you're right at the goal line.
Oh, wow.
12 seconds. You can't go up the middle though because you got no timeouts.
You cannot
You can't like go up
run
and
it at all.
Yeah, unless you see a big hole, you're going to do the push. You got Lance down here at the bottom of the screen on the right side. Timeout, Montana State.
I don't think they were going to do the tush
Oh,
push
wait.
anyway.
Oh, they're going to review the call.
Oh.
Let's see now. He's
Were
out
they
of-
getting up
Wait.
there?
Oh, is that a touch? Well,
Oh, are they?
the ball never crossed, but his feet were in the end zone. So that's not a touchdown. The ball has to cross, right?
Well, oh,
The ball has to cross the line, not your feet, correct?
his body hit the pylon.
But was he out of bounds when he caught it? No, he's in. He's in. Little Lance was in.
That may be a touchdown.
No, because the ball never crossed the line. So many times we see their foot go in the end zone when they got the ball behind them and they drop it.
Okay, so what's the ruling then?
They're just seeing if he was out of bounds before he caught
Oh,
it.
they just wanted to confirm.
Yep. Yep. And it's the officials are reviewing, of course.
Okay. This wasn't Montana State.
The team
challenge.
could not stop it. It was so many under 2 minutes to go.
Okay, this all comes from the booth.
And that's the other thing in college football. It's not the 2-minute warning. It's the 2-minute timeout.
Okay. So
That's a catch.
I just talked about this the other day. When did that come about?
I think it was this year or last year I started hearing it. The 2-minute timeout. Trying out loud. It's 2-minute warning.
So NFL, just for the listeners out there, NFL has a 2-minute warning. I think even high school.
High school, I think, has it. Well, yeah.
Maybe not. But
Yeah, he was in.
college,
His back foot stayed in the whole time. Yeah.
that is unbelievable.
That's a nice catch. Not bad for a local boy.
He
Minnesota
got
kid.
both feet in. You only need it's one for
He never
college.
went out of bounds. What they were saying though, did he ever step out of bounds first? He did. Not bad for a good local boy.
Wow. So the question is this: NFL has an actual 2-minute warning. Stoppage of play, clock stops. No team gets charged with the timeout, but it's a chance to sell ads and go to commercial break. College, I am sure, with the college football format playoff, says we could spend some more ad money if we have a
It's called a
2-minute warning.
2-minute timeout.
And they probably says, well, we don't have anything in the rules that says there's a 2-minute warning. So I'm sure someone got together and said, hey, because during the regular season, there's no 2-minute timeout, is there?
Yes,
There
but
is?
the reason it's called the 2-minute timeout. If you listen this year, and I've known this for years because, well, I'm smarter than you on this.
Exactly.
In college basketball, they have TV timeouts every so often.
Yes.
Just doesn't matter between certain times of the game. If no one's called a timeout, there's a TV timeout.
So college basketball, for instance, I think it's the 4-minute, 8-minute,
Yeah,
12,
if
and
no one's
16
called
minutes.
a timeout, there's a
Those
timeout.
are the TV timeouts that they can put the ads
Yeah.
on, in addition
Yeah.
to the normal timeouts that they get. Hockey, anything on television will have a TV timeout as well. But the 2-minute thing, maybe we looked it up here at halftime.
You're at the 1-yard line. You do a run play, up and over,
Boy.
with a handful of seconds to go.
Tush push is not going to work if you don't get it. If you go up and over.
Ruling on the field stands. He doesn't want to be prudent. Oh, wait, it's short. Thought he was being George W. Bush there for the
Nice.
don't prove this junk.
So it's at the half-yard
Yeah.
line. Now,
Okay, great, yes.
so he made the catch.
But the ball never crossed the goal line, so it's right there where the ball.
Yep.
That's what I'm trying to find where the ball was.
So let's say 1 yard or 1 foot line. It's out. He went out of bounds, and he caught the ball.
No offense to you two buys and players. You know damn well that wasn't a touchdown. Quit celebrating. You're embarrassing.
All right, let's see what they do here. 14
Okay,
seconds. No
shotgun
timeout.
Formation.
Trips.
Quads right. Quad right.
Right.
One guy to the left, and that's who he passes it to. Incomplete. Touchdown. He didn't catch that. That was Mrs. Lance's boy.
So they go trips right. They go to
Bryce Lance with the touchdown.
They go to Bryce Lance to the left on a little slant route.
They had 4 guys to the right, didn't they?
4 to the right, 1 to the left. They
and
go
Bryce
to the left.
all the way to the left. I thought with the shotgun he'd run it up the middle himself. Nope, I was wrong.
Let's see this again.
That's why I sit here though and don't play. And Bryce Lance is just making his draft stats that much better.
Oh man! Now instead, like we talked,
21-3.
Instead of getting the field goal to go up 17-3 at the half and to be safe,
or
this is FCS
or 14-6 if Montana would have made the first down. Montana State.
Yes. One thing I like about the FCS here is the gutsy calls. They get the touchdown and the extra point, and now it's a 21-3 game against.
Wow!
I repeat, the number 1 team in the nation,
undefeated,
hasn't lost since last year, and so they're trying to send a statement, right?
Yeah. Well, like I said, you put your foot on their throat and keep going.
But in FCS football,
Whoops.
you don't know. You can never look at this. There's a record: 17 receiving touchdowns. Ties the MVC, so that's the Missouri Valley Conference.
Right. 21-3 halftime lead. Halftime buys a lead. Whoops. Misspell. How many G's in halftime? 2?
Halftime.
You're the English major. 2 G's in halftime? Yeah. 1
How many G? Halftime?
1 G or 2?
There's no G's in halftime.
Oh. Sorry. Minnetonka education. I wasn't sure.
Halftime, HALF.
HAUGHF.
Oh, no HUG.
Is it
no G?
Is it F or is it PH?
Half F.
It's F. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, Minnetonka education.
That's it. Now I'm all square. So now there's still time on the clock. So there's
Although
13.
I got ballsy and put 21-3 halftime already on Facebook. Because
Well, it could be. We're a little behind here, I'm sure. Oh.
the guy runs it all the way back there to make me look
So
bad.
12 seconds left. They kick off. They kick it deep. He returns it back. Now they're at the 4. Now, Montana State, if you just kneel it here, that's safe.
Yeah,
But
just
you're
take
sending a strong message that
the coach has his headsets off. They're just
they're gonna.
victory formation. They're just taking the ink out. It's 4 seconds to go. No one get hurt.
Jeez.
Holy cow.
And look at Tommy Malott, 3 for 7.
Did you see that coming this week?
I did. And what day is that going to be released?
Friday, I believe.
That I'm interested. So now you end it this way. Montana State tails between their legs. I did see that.
Did I call that?
You said right away.
We're going to call right here on the Facebook. Jason Whitlock put it up earlier. I commented. Andy called this earlier at the draft. Angel Reese wants an OnlyFans page. Told you so.
So now we're going to halftime here. So we've talked about this. Caitlin Clark, the best player college of all time.
Sports Illustrated athlete of the year, time
Year,
athlete of the year.
Angel Reese,
Sports and Songs Woman Athlete of the Year. She got our award for that.
Keeps saying that she's the best and deserves all the credit. And Caitlin's only as good just because she is.
ESPN said how they're going to enjoy the Angel Reese highlights from last year. I don't know which highlight they're talking about. I never saw one.
She put up some great numbers.
Some great air balls.
And a lot of rebounds off her own misses. But yes, she played good. Yes, she did good.
Padded her stats, but yeah.
But Andy said back months ago, she's not in it like Caitlin Clark because she's a fan of the game. She loves the sport. Angel's in it because of me.
She likes the spotlight.
Spotlight. What can I do to be in front of the cameras? What can I do to get more fans? What can I do to get more followers? Do you think Caitlin Clark checks her followers? I don't think she even cares.
Okay, and I don't mean this is a rip. Do you think she knows how?
She probably does.
Meaning that's not high on her priority list.
Very low.
When I said,
low.
I'm sure she knows how. But she could give two rats' asses how many people follow her on Instagram.
So Angel's more of wants to be an influencer, wants to be having people. She wants to be a movie star. She wants to be
She wants the clicks.
She wants the clicks. So Andy called it way back when he said, you know she's gonna end up doing is going to the 3-to-3 league, or being an OnlyFans, or going into modeling or porn star or something. She's gonna do something that makes her money, quick money, rather than earn it over the long haul. She wants to the get rich concept. Now here it is. She's considering an OnlyFans account.
A nickname I used to have a while ago was Nostra Andy.
Nice.
That might have to be a new bit coming up.
Well, that's right on the money, because you would never see Caitlin Clark put her career on hold to say, I'm going to do an OnlyFans.
Not now.
You would never.
I got to go do pictures for Maxim magazine.
Yeah.
I got to go do pictures for swimsuit, or what was it? Swimsuit. It's not even swimsuit anymore. They have basically naked people in the ESPN one, but you hold the ball just right, or your whatever, just your arms just
They
right.
don't show anything, but you're nude. Yes.
And you're just positioned just right with your glove or your ball or your racket or whatever,
So
I'll bet the farm and all the animals, Angel Reese, is in the next episode or magazine for ESPN. Mark this right now. Halftime of the Angel Reese, if not this year, next, will be an ESPN body issue. And if you look closely enough, when you see the picture of her, you'll see the ESPN executives heads up her ass because they can't get enough of her.
Oh my God, it's just too much. So
yeah, it makes
what the WNBA does, and people may like it or not, they show them getting off the bus and coming into the auditorium.
Yep.
And into the arena with the outfit, the dress, like the NFL players,
like the red carpet walk. Yeah.
And these are like just every single regular season game, not the playoffs. This is every home game.
Yep.
Every away game, you're seeing what they're wearing to the game, and that's like a thing. Caitlin Clark,
I think I saw two.
Always looks good, but she looks horribly awkward.
She hates it
because someone's saying, "Wear this, please. Wear this top with this bottom. Match this up." And she's like, "I just want to play the game."
You know what she looks like? Remember that church photo you had when you were 8 years old? The mom dressed you up. That same smile.
So that's it. Now, on the other hand, Angel Reese cannot wait.
She lives for that day.
She lives because it's essentially for the WNBA a red carpet event, right? Mm-hmm. It's red carpet, the flash, the bulbs, everything's going off. Yes, we got a big game coming up, but the photos on Twitter are gonna be what you're wearing into the arena. That's what she loves, and that's the thing that you and I push on. That is why there's so much anger, hatred, animosity to Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark is there. She's a ball player. She's focused on her career, and she is unbelievable superstar. Angel Reese has all these extraneous things she's trying to do.
Yep.
That's the difference. But people may think that we're hating on Angel Reese. No, tremendous athlete, very good. You're still not as good as a Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, you're not.
I don't care what color, what race you are.
You're not as good as ESPN.
Angel Clark took that whole WNBA to the next level herself.
Caitlin Clark did. Angel Reese helped, don't get me wrong.
Yep.
Because she got eyes to the sport too. Yes, people watched because of Angel Reese, but you know what? More people were watching for Caitlin Clark.
Well, those last 2 or 3 seasons.
Did you want to? I wanted to watch Angel Reese play because I wanted to see her make a fool of herself and miss 8 shots and get 8 rebounds to prove a point. Or to go, how could you be that open and miss shots? I've got to see this train wreck. Caitlin Clark, it was like watching. Okay, I'm not comparing, but I'm comparing. It was like watching Magic Johnson play. You're just in awe of the things she could do.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she's the Magic Johnson WNBA. If she keeps us up for 7 years, yes. I'm not saying that. But she's doing things other girls haven't yet. Now, I want to be able to say in 10 years, Caitlin Clark's going to be just that type of player will just be another player in the league. They're all going to perform.
Gravitate.
Because you got Juju coming out of USC in a couple years.
Oh, yes.
You got Paige Beckers next year. So you got more Caitlin Clark type players coming up where Caitlin's not going to shine as much or not as much being the only one who does that. Paige doesn't take the logo threes, but she makes nice passes. She plays some good defense. She's got good assists. That's really the difference between Caitlin and Paige, in my opinion, is the logo 3, and that's about it.
Yep.
Paige is a little more on the social media. Paige Beckers. She's maybe because she's on the social media, you see it more. Paige looks like she's more of a teammate type player.
Yes.
Because Caitlin Clark seems like, okay, I just compared her to Magic, but with the things she has on the court with that, but also she reminds me of a Larry Bird.
Okay.
Now, Caitlin's not going to have the attitude like Larry, like, that's all you got for me.
Yeah.
She won't say that, but she'll say that with the eyes. And she'll be like, that's all you got?
Bro.
Really? That's all you got?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Larry Bird would physically say it to you, but Caitlin's kind of got that, come on, challenge me. Give me something here. You're killing
They do. Yeah, she does like to be challenged. That's why I think it's so fun watching WNBA because to some extent, her high school, I think, was probably boring. College, for the most part, was boring, I think, for her.
Until she got to the playoffs, yeah.
Got to the playoffs, and she was in her element. She loves the competition.
Yep.
She loves to be challenged.
It took me half a game to realize I should walk behind the camera, not front.
Wow. So what else we got? Division II football. Ferris State won the title 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. So they're done. Division III, North Carolina just beat Mount Union yesterday for the title. So North Central, it's a company college out of Illinois, has now been to the title game for Division III 5 straight seasons. 5 straight championships. They've been to the title game. They've won 3. They've lost 2. So if there's a dynasty in Division III or a team to watch, it's North Central, I think. Currently, right now, they've been in 5 straight title games for Division III football. Now, Mount Union, on the other hand, has won, I think, 13 national titles over the last 20, 30 years. And they've been in a lot of semifinals, a lot of finals. But Mount Union over the years, they've been in the hunt for what, 20, 30 years?
Yeah.
They've always just been good. And so what we're seeing is a little of the changing of the guard, I think, with this North Central team. 5 straight years they've been to the finals. They won it 3 times, lost it twice. Their last 2 wins from North Central was against Mount Union. So I think not only just winning it, but making the statement. And then, like I said, Ferris State won Division II. So college football now will wrap up tonight, other than the college playoff, right?
The award presentation.
Yes.
We did college bowl picks. I am mathematically eliminated.
We did some brackets, right? We did some brackets. I've never beaten Andy in the bet.
This is going to hurt me more than you.
But I finally pulled it off.
Victory.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You saw me hand it over.
the Hams 30-pack.
Yes. It's not the same 30-pack I won a while ago. No, that's a new one.
It's
It's
fresh,
not the traveling 30-pack. It's
ice cold. Now, Andy, we had pretty good matchups here, but
well, like the rest of the free world, I think we had the right matchups.
Notre Dame, was that the one that clinched it?
For you, yeah, because you had them going to the semis. I didn't.
Notre Dame. So Notre Dame played Indiana the first round. Remember, Notre Dame is not in a conference, so they couldn't win it and get a first round bye. They had to play. They beat Indiana. Then they took on Georgia, the number 2 seed, and beat them.
I had Georgia winning
That
game.
clinched it. So the only more possible game I could get right on my entire bracket is if Notre Dame wins the next game and gets to the final. And I think they play Thursday or Friday night, one of those 2 nights. But Andy notified me that he was out.
Yep. Mathematically eliminated.
Mathematically limited. Now, so the first 4 teams are conference champions, get the first 4 bids automatically.
Yep.
And get a home game. No.
Yep.
Yeah. the home game out of in a neutral site. Sorry, a neutral site
Yeah, but they're the home team.
as the home team. all 4 of them got beat.
And some people complain,
Right?
Arizona State and Boise State should have been a top 4 seed. These other schools have better records. The rules are you win your conference, you're a number 1 seed.
Yeah. So it's a privilege. If you win your conference game, they want to make sure that's meaningful. They make that an automatic first round bye if you win the conference. So the teams that did it, they did what they had to do. They got that first round bye. But what happened? They all got beat. They're all out.
Now, college basketball doesn't do that. And I think that's why the college football fans are getting upset.
It's a little different.
Because college basketball, you got 68 teams now that make it. Can't do this. Can't do that.
So the first round of the playoffs for the football is the teams get actual home field advantage to actually play on campus for one game.
Yep.
And there was really no upsets there, right?
Nope.
No upsets in the first round. Second round, where they play neutral sites in an actual bowl setting.
All the lower seeds won.
All the seeds were upsets. All the games were upsets, essentially. So now you get to the national semifinals where there's 4 teams left. And the actual national rankings, when the last ranking was done, these teams are 5, 6, 7, 8, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So a national champion will either be the 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th best team in the nation at the end of the last, the AP ranking.
Yep.
The USA Today coaches ranking. Whatever the ranking was, the last 4 teams in it are 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting. So those games are Thursday. One's Thursday night in a bowl game setting. One's Friday night in a bowl game setting. The winner then of those games gets, I think, 10 days off. And that game will be in Atlanta in a non-bowl. It's just the Mercedes-Benz Bowl or the Dome.
Now,
in the National Championship Game is what it's called. That'll be on the 20th of January.
Here's one thing I forgot about, and hearing stuff and doing some research. We said last week these guys are entering the NIL with a bowl game coming up.
Yep.
The Bowl Championship Series, the playoffs, is not run or sponsored by the NCAA.
Oh, that's the difference.
So that's why a lot of money they can have these sponsorships and spread these games out and everything else. They kind of made a deal with the NCAA. Say, oh, we'll have a Rose Bowl game, but these playoff games are not run by the NCAA. That's why it's not their rankings. This company was or group or whatever.
They do their own seeding.
Yep.
Yes. That also made it confusing because we got the rankings and we have the seedings. And we got the NCAA, but the tournament is run by the College Bowl Playoff Committee. Really?
And this all started because there was no championship. It was just everyone went to their bowl games based on your conference you played in a certain bowl game. Rose Bowl is always the Pac-12 against the Big Ten champion. Well, now they had to change all that because Nebraska was in the Big 12, would never play Ohio State in the Big 10 at the time, or Miami would never play Nebraska. And here you got these two, stuff like that was happening. So they came up with this Bowl Championship Series, and now they're complaining their seedings don't match the rankings. So we're kind of getting back to where we started from, going, well, these were the top 5 seeds. Why weren't they playing each other? They should have played here. We're kind of getting back to that same argument again.
Yeah.
They're going to basically, I've seen one thing going, all right, fine. Notre Dame's going to have to suck it up and get thrown into a conference. And they'll have top 4 for the Big 10, the top 4 for the Big 12, top 4 from this conference, top 4 from that conference. Boom. Your conference playoffs are going to basically be part of the big championship tournament. Kind of like high school sports here in Minnesota, where everybody from Section 8 makes the playoffs.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Take the top 4 teams last 10 years, and they made it. But all you heard about was the teams that were 5th and 6th that didn't make it. This year, the top 12 teams make it, but it's using the formula. So Alabama finishes the year ranked 11th, and they're not in it because they lost the title game. So they're bitching. Yep. So even if you go to 32 teams in a tournament, the 33rd and 34th teams are going to be complaining. Mm-hmm. So what if they just took the top 12 postseason coaches rank the teams, and those 12 teams are in some playoff regardless of conference. That would still eliminate some of these smaller schools like a Liberty or someone getting in. So they can't do it that way. They have to have the conferences and then the at-large bids after that.
Yep.
But it would be nice to get just the top 12 teams and then keep the rankings the same, go 12 versus 1, 2 versus 11, and have a single elimination tournament. So it is confusing. We've done a couple shows on that and talked about where the confusion would lie with the seedings versus the rankings, and we're seeing some of that come in. But Thursday and Friday will be done. Championship on the 20th. Division 3, Division 2, FCS now will end tonight. So we're all going to be done with college football here at the smaller schools.
So the big colleges in the NFL can have football every day of the week now for a while.
And even, the Monday night game doesn't go away. The last week of the season,
tonight there's no Monday night
there was
football.
none. But now they have enough teams in the wild card to get one more week out of having a Monday night football.
See how ESPN did that? Who had Monday night football? It's on ESPN tonight on Monday night. A championship football game.
Yes.
ESPN still got all the eyes to them.
They still got the eyes. But it's hard when you're having some of these other sports channels, TNT or TBS or a True TV hosting these things. And like you said before at the beginning, now you got Prime TV. You get some of these streaming channels hosting football. It gets it a little more confusing. So what we have is 21-3 halftime.
And a lot of people, like you said yourself, where you go to just the apps now. You don't have Spectrum
so
or
people are
Charter
doing
cable.
that. But
you have just
they have different apps is what I'm finding.
I'm going to watch the TNT app. So I guess I'm watching this football all day now because I can flip back and forth.
So it does make it interesting with the streaming apps. And so
because even when you're streaming on a certain channel, you can't flip back and forth. The shows on that same thing. You have to get out and in.
And so we do, for instance, Hulu and Amazon Prime. And so that's the only services that we have. We don't get anything else. But Hulu has 100 channels that you can watch.
Do you have an antenna so you watch Run Clarity of the Weather?
I don't even do that.
You don't get to see Run Clarity of the Weather on Channel 5?
No.
Oh.
So I don't watch any local TV at all. But we do watch some live, mainly sports, and then some on-demand stuff. But and the internet gets wonky sometimes, so it'll cut out or it'll go slow, and it needs to get enough buffer to keep the connection strong. So one thing I liked with the old cable is that your TV always just worked. Now you're hoping it's going to be good. The game went out a couple times last night on the Vikings game.
What about the farm cables? They ever have that trouble?
They have the antenna, so they get the 4.
They get 4, 5, 9,
11, clear as day, all day long.
So they get Run Clarity watching it.
They can watch it.
Do you, with that, just try to, because I thought about it, but I guess that's what I'm getting from my grandfather. I like watching the local news to see what's going on.
Okay.
I don't agree with him, of course, but I like to see what's going on. How do you get that in the streaming services?
I think you still get those.
You can still get the local channels on some of those now?
I think so, or you can go and have the antenna and go to the antenna and pick up those channels, or
they you get the YouTube app so you can watch the sports and songs podcast.
Some people are going with that as well, YouTube.
Live YouTube has a cable, we basically get cable channels in there too, yep.
So there's a lot of options out there, and I think people are in the mindset of just trying to figure it all out, of what to use and what to get. But it's all based on your internet, so
now look at these announcers here for the football game. Them poor slobs are all dressed up because it's cold down there. We're sitting here in the trailer hood, drinking our beers, eating our pizza, and watching the same feed they are. Who's the fool now?
Well, so they're in Texas, but it's 40 degrees.
It's like 40-something degrees down there. They're bundled up. You'd think they were in the freezer. 40 degrees here in Minnesota, that's a hoodie and shorts.
So do you think if they had
passing yards, 92 for the Bison, 17 for Montana State, 108 to 52 for rushing touchdowns, 3 TDs for the Bison, Viking touchdowns for the Montana State.
Ooh.
Oh, well, I mean, 0.
Responsible for, yeah.
Miller time. I haven't seen that sign yet. That's pretty good. It's one of those obvious ones that flies under the radar.
Cam Miller, right?
It kind of flies under the radar. It's so obvious you miss it. Okay, I would just say that football players and basketball players, and maybe it's just because of ESPN radio I listen to, and other things I've said. I don't think it should be allowed. What was the guy? Oh, let's talk about the Jacksonville Jaguar quarterbacks. I never heard this name before. He called him T-Law. I'm like, oh, that's Trevor Lawrence. Okay, when you have a below 500 career record, you should not be allowed to have a nickname. You have to have a ring. Harrison Smith for the Vikings last night, beast, and couldn't get his college out because it's too hard to say Notre Dame, I guess. I don't know. Unless you got a ring, you don't get a nickname. You're not in the Hall of Fame yet. You don't get a nickname. You can't go out there and go, beast. And then that's
so
it.
You're saying when they do the introductions,
you don't get to give yourself
something should be qualified for you to do that.
You got to do something to have enough street cred to drop your high school or elementary school.
But once again, it's in the spotlight once again.
One guy,
you're on video and you get to say what you want, and now it's all taken out of.
And the one guy, his name, father of two. Yes, I'm proud I'm a father of two also, but you know what? Your job on the announcements is your name in college. Oh, Stormy.
Nice.
Hi, Stormy.
So you're right. It's the social media trying to do things that trend, trying to get on Twitter or X. Now you get the pregame.
Chase tries to say something different to be catchy.
Something's got to be some catchy thing that stands out.
I mean, these guys before they're drafted, they're giving them nicknames. He ain't done beans. You got to earn a nickname.
The Honey Badger was one.
Yeah, he was pretty good in college. He had that come, but still. First year in the NFL, when he falls off, he should go by his real name again, not still Honey. T-Law was the first time I heard Trevor Lawrence.
I've never actually heard that.
Because Trevor Lawrence is the whitest blonde-haired kid in the world. You don't give nicknames to those people.
Yes.
Unless it's Sonny or Blondie, not T-Law.
Yeah, the best nicknames are never with the white guys. It's always usually lame.
Okay, the coach for the Vikings, I heard KOC. I heard that and I had to stop. What the hell do you get KOC? Oh, Kevin O'Connell. I didn't catch it right away.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the hell is KOC?
So KOC is what they call him.
Because that's his initials, but OC, when your name is Abreu O'Connell, your last name's an O, okay? Is there no flag on that?
Kevin
no flag?
O'Connell. It bounced around. So Montana State has the ball to open the second.
That was I could see if there would have been a flag, I could have stopped, but they were both pushing, I guess.
So now the second half will be interesting to watch to see what adjustments are they going to make. What was said at halftime?
Yep. How good was that locker room? Yeah, to get a nickname, you have to earn it.
You have to earn it. So you should have some kind of credentials, and maybe the ESPN crew or the NBC sports crew just says, just give him the name.
Because who had the nicknames in high
school? You're not going to be on it.
The star athletes, the higher up people had the nicknames. Wait, I had it.
Yeah. It's
he tripped. The sniper got him.
It's very strange because they get the spotlight and they open up this door to all this introductions. You're opening the door to everything else.
So when someone got a nickname, you think they're good then because they got a nickname. Because like I said, in high school, who had their nicknames? The better players.
Yeah, it's
college.
Such a pecking order hierarchy.
Now you need one. Okay. Like, certain ones are kind of called for, I guess. I don't know.
Well, typically the best nicknames are the ones that aren't planned, that just happen. Right. Or it starts off as a goofy thing and then it sticks. Look at this. Malat.
Nice pass from
Montana State. So now they got something going.
He's a little slow getting up, though.
So, Andy, we're talking about NFL salaries, team salaries.
Yes.
And this year, the team that finished worst was the Cleveland Browns, and they had the number one.
They get the number one pick.
Overall salary. No, but the salary expense was the biggest of all the teams.
I don't see the Sanders kid going there or the other kid going there.
But the Deshaun Watson contract inflated that whole thing for a guy that's not even playing to be the highest payroll, and they're the worst team. Not even in the top.
Drew offside.
Typically, it's going to correlate with the top 5 teams.
Are they still paying part of Baker Mayfield's too?
They could.
They've got a few guys they've overpaid for to
So that's where you
False
really run
start.
into problems.
Montana State. Hey guys, it's not that hard to say.
Now there's a penalty here.
False start, Montana State. Yep. Push them back.
What I've also seen talking
State
Vikings
touchdown.
football, and you may not have heard this, Andy, is off-season teams are talking trades. You know, where's Darnold going to go?
Yep.
Who can the Vikings get back? Blah, blah, blah. I saw an article that showed some consideration for teams wanting to package Kevin O'Connell
I've seen
on
that.
a package deal
Yep.
to get the head coach
Yep.
and a player or two in exchange for some draft picks or money or something down the road. I've actually seen that. Now, we've seen it play out a while back with, was it Gruden?
Gruden, yep.
Was actually in a trade.
Yep.
And some other coaches where we've actually seen that take place. What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, I'm throwing this one out there. Not throwing a coach out there for a trade. But if Kevin O'Connell was supposed to be the next quarterback whisperer, the next Andy Reid for that. If you
Yes.
will. I know we got J.J. McCarthy. I'm sure he's a fine young man.
Yes.
I'd like to see Trevor Lawrence here.
No, but in exchange of a head
For-
coach
for-
leaving.
No, keep O'Connell here.
Okay.
Bring Trevor Lawrence here. Give up Jaguars whatever they want. Because I think Trevor Lawrence needs out of Jacksonville to see if he's good or not.
Yeah.
He's getting paid like he is. So something where they got to eat part of the contract or he'll redo some of it to get here. But I think Trevor Lawrence has the ability, the athletic ability, to be a good quarterback.
So a new setting, a new scene.
Yep. We've said about baseball players too with trades. Sometimes they just need a new locker room.
New atmosphere,
Yep.
new chemistry. So what would happen? So we got Sam Darnold. That's a good topic for discussion. Is here on a 1-year deal. It was meant to be kind of a stopgap Band-Aid.
A lot of people saying franchise tag him. That's $40 million.
That's what I heard.
So him for Trevor Lawrence. So we're paying $10 more million. If we still have J.J. McCarthy, he holds the clipboard for another year. Life goes on.
So the question now is, we learned two things with Darnold being picked up.
3rd and 1 now for Montana State.
He wasn't just a backfill, a stopgap kind of. Hey, let's just get by the year. Let's go with 500, if that, and then just get McCarthy in the mix.
Yeah.
So, to be the future guy. Darnold now does well and breaks all his own personal records of all the years he's played as a journeyman to some extent. We also find out that this Kevin O'Connell somewhat is a quarterback whisperer. So one has to question, is that why we picked up Daniel Jones from the Giants?
Yeah.
6'6" quarterback, number 1 pick who can't do anything
He's
for the
been on the
Giants.
practice squad, so we still have the rights to him.
So Vikings picked him up.
Get him.
Other teams
Nope.
passed on him.
And that's a touchdown, Montana State.
A pass.
Oh, no, he's down at the 1. They're saying down at the 1.
Pass completed, rolled into the end zone. No touchdown.
Knee
sign
down at the
given.
1.
Really nice pass.
Now, I'm going to go back to my Canadian football stuff here for a second.
Okay.
Look at Montana State's colors and the way they have their M. You flip that upside down for a W. That's what the Winnipeg Blue Bombers colors and that look like.
Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Which is another transition point I'm getting to here. I saw a post on Facebook. Quote my dad, it kind of roughed my fur the wrong way.
Who's the post by?
Some moron.
Oh, I thought you said Dan.
No. My dad had the term rough my fur the wrong way.
Oh, yes. Oh,
They were comparing Kevin O'Connell to Bud Grant. No. He's his 3rd year as head coach. You don't compare someone like 3rd year to Bud Grant.
no.
No, stop. Bud Grant, NBA Basketball Hall of Fame. Bud Grant, Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Bud Grant, NFL Hall of Fame. Kevin O'Connell, 0 playoff wins. You cannot compare the two.
Yeah.
Stop.
So I think it's fair if they say that
He's got
he could
potential.
be the potential to be someone like that. A potential to be down
He's
the
on his
road.
way to being the next
He's on the way because these Minnesota teams rattling off these records like this under Kevin O'Connell and the locker room that likes the guy, the players like to play
Yep.
for the guy. He's smart, cognitive guy.
Uh-oh.
He's a
What do we got
quarterback
here?
guy.
He's got no one open. He throws it away. Third and goal.
So if this Daniel Jones works out,
He
who
might be
knows
a
what he
nice
can do with the J.J. McCarthy. You still have Nick Mullins. You've got Brent Rippon is the other guy on
Yeah,
the team.
Mark Whippin's kid.
Mark Rippon's son.
Mark Rippon's daughter also played in the lingerie league, and she was really good too.
Oh my God.
Anyway, but you could have a quarterback controversy of training camp next year for the job.
And if Kevin
Daniel
O'Connell's
Jones
this
and JJ
good
McCarthy?
with that and could be a potential Andy Reid type of mentality guy, he will be in high demand. And so then it makes it, if he's that good, do you need to draft a first round pick down the road for quarterbacks? Why not make a fifth round draft pick waste if he's such a good coach? He's going to be good anyway.
No.
You have all these kind of concepts.
Defensive pass interference, we're back to first and goal.
First and
And
goal.
there was a touchdown on it. Oh, he dropped the ball.
So was
I
it the
could've caught
tight
that.
end?
I could have caught that one.
A running back out of the backfield, a bigger guy.
No, it's just a big horse.
He led him a little bit too much.
Not
he had
really,
a hand
though. That was
on
right
it
there.
and bobbled it out. And so that's what we're seeing here from
Okay,
Montana
it was right
State.
there, though. That's a catchable ball.
Oh,
He was too worried about a celebration dance and didn't worry about the catch.
look
There, I
at
said
this. Nice soft touch.
Right there. What are you doing jumping for,
Yeah,
son?
he bobbled it. And
Yeah.
this just might be Montana State's night that they just
You
can't.
got one
click.
long pant leg, one short pant leg. You deserve to drop the ball. You look the fool.
This could get ugly here.
Oh, that he got in.
Knee never down.
Never went down. Touchdown, Montana State.
Signal on the field.
21-9. Let's see if they go for two.
Scotty Humphrey with the touchdown. Rushing touchdown.
Scotty Humphrey's a big stud, too. I like him.
But boy, that chewed up
A lot of clock.
half of that third quarter now is done.
Little exchange on the issue on the exchange. Scotty Humphrey, he's going to be a beast. And, like I said, Canadian football, these might be names you see in the UFL next year.
That's the other thing that I was thinking.
And how many
too.
of those guys in the UFL did you see made the cut at the last minute? A lot of the kickers came over, especially the guy for Detroit was a UFL guy.
Okay.
So don't laugh at the little leagues.
They're good. They're essentially a farm system,
Unofficial farm
an
system.
unofficial farm system to get these guys up and running. So
You're not sponsored by the NFL, but the NFL will take your rule ideas.
CFL, UFL,
A lot of these camera angles they have
Arena
now,
League.
a lot of these camera angles they have in the NFL now, were from the XFL when Vince McMahon ran it.
Copied from that.
Vince McMahon,
The camera overhanging
Yep.
over the field, the
The guy-
sky cam.
Well, Vince McMahon, they had a guy on the field with the camera.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little too
actually
much.
on the field.
That was a little too much, but they all laughed at Vince McMahon, but yet you took most of his ideas.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So that kind of bothered me a little bit.
So now my other question, while we're on the air,
I have answers.
the Pro Bowl team has been announced, but they don't play a Pro Bowl game. They
play
do a
flag.
flag football. So are you honored to be on the Pro Bowl team? Yeah, I can see that.
What's your
or do you
contract say?
neglect to say I'm not going to show up to your thing, or do you have to show up?
Well,
Can you decline it?
a lot of it's still a contract thing for a lot of these guys. I
It's
know
still the
maybe his
NFL
first,
promoting, so they're kind of saying you kind of got to go.
the first couple of years he went, but after that, Dan Marino never went because in the offseason, he always had the fluid drain from his knee. Or
So
just
he had an
injury.
extra couple of weeks to do. If he declined that, he could get jump started.
I'm sure he might have some contract like, okay, so much for name that I'm not going, so let's not make it a big amount. But
So they're also doing
reward me for a good
skills,
season.
a skills competition. Now we're seeing this with the NBA, the NHL.
which is what we've said before. The Major League Baseball needs to go to
Yeah.
more of a skills competition. Still keep the game part. I love the game part. But if you're going to make it a 4-day weekend for baseball, throw some skills in there. And that's where
Agree. If it's
That's
just a game, it's a game. But this is a whole weekend. They're having basically a parade.
the one old school rule that baseball hasn't changed yet is All-Star Weekend, a player from every team. Okay,
At
let's
minimum of
get
one.
around that. If you put in the skills competitions, that can be included. The home run derby. You could have a guy from Miami be in the home run derby. There, that counts as their representative.
Got it.
You don't need one in the game.
See,
We're going to put a big tire at home plate, and the outfielders got to throw it through there. If you had an outfielder from California there, we don't need a California player on the team now. He was in All-Star Weekend.
participating in some way. So that Pro Bowl is coming up after the championship games are done a week before the Super Bowl. It's the
Yes, it's the bye
skills
week now.
competition. It's the bye week. The Pro Bowl. It's lost its luster. They're trying to do what they can. I still like that they announced the Pro Bowl
Right.
teams.
You earned that title. You've earned the All-Star title. I got no problem with that.
And then when the season ends, they'll announce the All-Pro team,
which is different.
Yeah. And so those are still interesting.
There's the 8:09 left in the third. Bison up by 11 with the ball at the 25. 4-yard gain, 3-yard gain there. Second down. I think NHL will get back at how they had their drop in the Winter Classic. NHL, kind of like the NBA, kind of gets lost in the shuffle here, first part of their season.
Yep.
One thing I think can help the NHL, and I hate saying this, get them out of the NBA cities.
I see.
Because you put too much in one town. Okay, the
Wild, Wild saturation effect.
Yep. Because basketball has always been a little bit more of hockey. Timberwolves are a 500 team this year. Wild are one of the best, but it's all Timberwolves talk because they were a better team last year. Well, it's the NBA and da.
They made a deep run to the postseason.
Yeah. So, yes, we're still the state of hockey, but they're still sold out, but you don't hear about them on the news hardly at all unless you follow. So, I think if you...
Yeah, we're one of the rare cities with all 4 sports.
Yeah. So, if you maybe separated those schools or teams, where NHL and NBA didn't share, unless you're a big enough city like New York where you got enough people you can entertain it. We have enough in the St. Paul, Minneapolis area to entertain it. We just don't have the local media smart enough to entertain it. Because we have guys like Joe Schmidt, who's as dumb as a box of rocks. I don't even know who does. Does Channel 11 even do sports? I don't even know what they have on their show anymore.
I don't follow a lot of that. I know that
Mike Max, maybe, but he's so up with what's the latest fad.
Patrick Royce is gotten just overboard with old man syndrome.
Yes.
You can't even understand.
Dan Barrero, does he even cover sports anymore? Does K-Fan even cover sports anymore?
Very little.
Barrero's pretty political now. And,
So they're not just focusing on those things. Now, I wouldn't mind if a person had 2 accounts and says, hey, Patrick Royce, for instance, I'm gonna use this Twitter account for sports. I'm going to use this other Twitter handle when I talk politics.
Yep.
Because so many are bleeding over, and it's hard to.
You mean like
you can't stand one thing of them, but you don't mind the other thing they do.
You mean like have a sports episode and a songs episode?
It should be separate. Oh yeah,
kind of like something like that.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
So what we do is, for the listeners out there, Monday night sports Thursdays.
Not normally like this where we're watching a game, but.
Thursday's music, album reviews, concerts, tour announcements, latest singles.
Same pretty faces, but tours. Different topics.
So some people naturally tune into our Thursdays, naturally tune into our Mondays.
Yeah. I'd really like to let us know in the comments below. Do you watch both shows?
And we call that, what do we call that? A crossover?
Yes. We have had a few crossover episodes where we had sports guys talk music guys talk sports.
And every show we do is going to cross over for us because we have a little bit of each.
Yes. There's one more in there until you got it cracking your own.
But we're trying to do some crossover up. Now we're in season 6.
Yes. So if you're, say, in a local band, tribute band, cover band, original music band, and you want to talk baseball preseason stuff, hot stove leagues, you're a baseball fan, let us know. Vice versa. You're a big town ball player guy, but you know what? You really like country music. And you want to talk about Chris Stapleton. We'll talk about Chris Stapleton with the other episode.
So with the college...
See that? I knew a country music artist.
That's well played.
That's well done. Huh?
So with college football,
4th down Montana, they held the Bison. 4th and 18. So 18, I don't remember the last time. 15. Went for a pass, almost intercepted. Montana State's picking up some momentum.
Now it's 4th and 15. 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
They're picking up momentum.
So college football has the questionable where there's some confusion with the standard definition, rankings versus seeding.
Yep.
Things like that. There's some confusion. Now, the town ball here in the state of Minnesota, our beloved town ball that we love.
Yes.
They're doing a change that'll take effect here in 2025. Regular season, not so much, but the postseason, they're going to have Class A, B, and C. A, highest points, big school, big city, big population, good schools, whatever.
Yeah.
B, kind of all the rest, and then C, the very small.
Small town. Haven't been successful in the past, but here's a chance.
But they're going to call them, and here's the thing that I don't like, Andy, and I want your thoughts on this, is one's going to be called, when you get there, it's going to be called the sections. Next one's going to be called the regions. Next one's going to be called districts. And so I think when they get to that playoff format, the terminology is going to be confusing just enough, because they're already introducing a new layout, a new format for all this. Now they're going to introduce different words for the postseason. So, and maybe that was meant on purpose. Maybe they want to do that.
I thought maybe they have sponsorships like everybody else. It'd be the Ford division, the Chevy division, the Dodge division.
Oh, yes.
So
there's going to be 3 classes, A, B, and C.
Yep.
And instead of everyone basically being in C and a small amount of teams in A and B, they're going to push more to A, push more to B, and keep C. They're all going to be about the same size.
Right.
So I'm interested, number one, to see how it all pans out.
It's like here, we're still going to be Region 7 with Waconia, Watertown, and Broughton all in the same one, but you got A, B, and C team.
So the conferences, yes, the conferences now will stay, but have a little different feel to them. They'll still have the Crow River Conference. There's still the
CRVL,
the Crow River, the DRS, the 1360, the Land O'Lakes Conference, the Sun Belt,
Highway 10, yeah.
Highway 10. So the conferences will still stay the same, but they're going to have maybe a lesser, not as meaningful, maybe.
Yeah. Now, of course, Waconia Watertown was going to be a nice rivalry game.
The rivalries, yes.
That's why they kept those together, because of those rivalry games. It's just now kind of like, okay, in college football, when the Bison play Iowa, or like this year they played Colorado State, they lost that game, but that didn't hurt them in the rankings because they played up. So if Watertown gets swept by Waconia, is that going to hurt them in the rankings because they played up?
Yeah, I think we're gonna see some good stuff, because, like you say, there could be some Class C team that loses to a Class A team, but only by one run, and they'll still be proud. They'll still say, "Look, we got street cred. We went up against the big dope boys. We knew we'd lose, but we kept it close." Or, "Hey, we won 5 wins this season against classes that we played up on. And in fact, we had a couple wins against a Class A teams." There'll be a lot more breakouts like that done. There will still be the overall win-loss record, but it's going to mean different things. 5 minutes left, third quarter. Oh, look at this.
Oh, get him.
In stride.
Oh.
Montana State, long pass from Malott down to the 5.
Now, I know we said we weren't taking questions on YouTube, and that's because I really don't know how to do that. But if you do want to send us something on the personal pages, we can.
Yes, you can always ask questions. We'll get back to you. If we don't, we don't. But so here we go. Third quarter is about to end. The over-under is 58.5. What are we sitting at here? 31?
20. Yeah, it's 31, 21-10. So
if they score here, it'll be 21-17.
Oh, that's a 4.5 point spread. So we're still 8.5.
But Montana State was the
favorite, so it's
the favorite.
So they'll be with an 8.5. And touchdown.
Okay, now we're seeing a little Montana State here.
Now they're coming back.
The first half was very.
They're coming. They're coming.
Malott saying they're going to go for 2.
Yeah, that'd put you within 3. Why not?
Okay, let's see what they do here. They might.
I would go for 2.
There's a lot of football left.
You still got a whole quarter. They're going 2.
Malot's a gamer. Look at how small it is.
Shadow, you want
So
to
they're
watch?
going to go for 2 here and try to get a little momentum swing.
Shadow's going to watch. Be my good luck charm, Shadow. I know you want the Bobcats to win, but I want the Bison to win, buddy.
Ooh, little Statue of Liberty. Look at this.
Oh, he got it behind him. Nice play by
The
Montana
back
State.
shoulder.
That was nice. I'll give him
They did
that.
2 fake handoffs.
Yeah, I'll give him that. That was pretty.
Is it a trick play, though?
No, that's not a trick play. Don't.
Okay. We won't go there.
Let's not use that
They
language.
convert. So now we got a 21-18 game, 4 minutes left in the game. Montana. See, this game is going to come down to the end of the 4th
Yep.
quarter, I think.
Yep.
Over-unders right now is 39, 58.5.
Woo!
So the underdog.
They'll still be under. There have to be a lot of scoring in the 4th. I don't see that happening, but that was a pretty play.
Great passing by Malott here, 3rd quarter.
That was a pretty play. I'll give him that.
So Bison will get the ball back and probably wrap up the 3rd quarter here. The question is, how do they respond? So Major League Baseball here kicks off. I think teams will start reporting to camp here, I think in a month, a little over a month, maybe. So we'll talk some off-season sports as well. Hot stove for the Twins. Hot stove for the Mets. Hello.
Hey, Dan.
Hello. So Andy, the UFL schedules are out.
I saw the NFL's UFL made theirs.
Yeah. So the UFL actually announced theirs, I think, a couple days ago. So we'll follow that a little more in the spring. Not too much to talk about now.
I apologize. I'm fighting allergies, and you don't need to hear me blow my nose, so I really don't do that. So.
Yeah, we're just
No one needs
chatting
to hear
here.
that.
No one does.
We don't do that type of programming
Is
anymore.
commissary Lisa here?
That's Lisa from the commissary. Just go back for a smoke break.
Hey.
Smoke break went kind of long there, Lisa. Just got to talk to you about that.
My job wasn't so stressful.
Wow.
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 Take it up with Connie. Okay.
So look at this now.
Celebration dance. You're coming to come back. You're within 7. That's allowed. If you were doing that and you're still down by 35, you're running laps, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Settle down.
And so what we're getting at on these discussions are etiquette stuff, code of conduct, right?
Yes.
Baseball,
Time and
football,
place.
they all have codes of conduct.
You know, I didn't realize in sport. That's coming up. I get it. You want to do your little. I don't mean this to be disrespectful. Someone do for your little thank you to God after you get a touchdown or a home run or
Yep.
something. I'll give you that. But when you're down by 35 and you get a first down and you point, that you're an idiot. You're scoreboard. You know.
Well, it reminds me of the who was it? Was it Fred Lane? Who did the electric worm for the Carolina Panthers when they were down 41-7 on Monday Night Football?
That happened a couple years ago. The
He scored a
Vikings-Steelers
touchdown.
game.
They're down. He did the electric worm in the end zone for a celebration. And the announcers were like, you're down 35 points.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Scoreboard. Well, that was the Vikings-Steelers game a couple years ago, was it? When the guy starts pointing for the first down, that cost him the time to get there.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, so there's a
I saw that in the
time and a
line.
place, right?
I saw the Lions game when the Lions were up like 14-3. Well, after the Lions got a first down, he did that little Viking wave thing. I don't know what that means or where it came from, but he did that little wave under the helmet. I thought, that might be what the Vikings need to come back, and they never did.
Well, I mean, even the skull for the fans
Yeah.
doing the school chant. When did that even become a thing?
when they
Since
put
US
the big
Bank?
drum in, I think
At US Bank?
it started with the U.S. Bank thing, so it wasn't at the old stadium. It
There
wasn't
was
at,
nothing for the Metrodome.
It was
There was nothing
the new
for Met
stadium.
Stadium.
It
So it
started
must
the
have
new-
been US Bank.
So they get the, hey, let's get a chant going in
Let's
the
get
dome
a
to make it
chant.
loud.
It took off. It's now big nationwide, but it was one of those things.
They're not the only
Came
sport.
out of
They're not the only team that does that. I want to say it's the Florida Panthers or some Carolina. Some hockey team does that too.
Okay.
I don't know who did it first. I got Kevin working on that, but
There's all
Kevin
these
hits
things
the
have
grass
histories
and
of
all
things.
that.
Yeah, where they come from, where they originate. Vikings have the horn. They play the drum.
drum. Yeah, we got two.
It used to be just simply Crazy George in the audience, right? Was that who it was?
Yeah, well,
Who banged the drum?
Well, Crazy George was
And then there
one
was the Viking guy.
Ragnar came out.
Ragnar.
He used to work at Minnetonka High School back in the day, John.
Okay.
And he got to the point where when they left the dome, he wanted like a whole bunch of money and everything else. And the Vikings no.
Oh, so the transformation to the stadium.
Crazy George, urban legend is, kind of like a lot of the guys in the crowd, he was just a guy who's dressed up who just hopped on the field one day and they just let him go. And so he just kind of started doing it.
Okay.
And it's kind of became a bit. It used to be a bit with the Cowboys and the Redskins with their two mascots. God forbid that happens today,
Yeah.
But the mascots are I don't even know if the Cowboy or the Redskin or Crazy George are mascots.
Hello.
Did you want to make a brief appearance on the show, Lisa, for the commentary?
No, I'm good.
Lisa's good.
It's not in her contract to be FaceTime.
No.
You get audio,
And
not
you're
visual.
gonna have to pay me extra.
So we started the record button and just been watching the game on mute. We turned the closed captioning on. We're just taking it all in.
So remind me to turn the closed captioning off in the morning.
Oh,
Bison are up 21-18. They're coming down the field. About to
okay.
score again. Hopefully.
The third quarter. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only 40-some degrees down in Frisco.
Frisco,
So
Texas.
they should be.
Oh, the announcers are all bundled up. You'd think they were crying out
They
loud.
were bundled up.
Yeah, these players from Montana State, North Dakota State are like shorts and hoodie, baby.
Well, the last couple of years, it always seems to be Midwest
Well,
teams.
this is the first time it's been at night. It's always been an afternoon game too, so it's
Oh,
warm.
on a Sunday.
It's always been an afternoon game, Saturday or Sunday. So now it's a night game, so a little chillier.
Oh, that's the difference.
3rd and 1. It's on a Monday night.
When Jack was there, they were always.
It was afternoon games.
Oh,
and
it was
day games.
afternoon. Okay.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
show him your jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Swim.
It's the reason I had all that overtime last week.
I saw it already. What is it? I didn't see the inside. I noticed it. What? Let me see the back. So,
And I went to NHL.com. I did not get a
where
freebie.
did you get that?
NHL.com.
That is sweet.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I was thinking actually I might wear it tomorrow. I don't know. With my black leggings.
Yeah, go ahead.
That is nice. That's a real deal thing.
That'll be a
Yeah,
reminder to
that's
talk to
real.
Tammy about New National Schools Week with work.
I got to get a picture before I take off of
Okay.
that thing.
Said to your buddy down there that you play ball with.
Yes.
Yeah, because
We're fun
that's
watching
the-
him now. We're fun watching.
Oh!
Touch.
No.
Nope.
Mrs. Lance's boy.
Trey Lance.
Bracelet.
Nice one, Lisa. I do like that. I'll have to talk more about
Yeah.
that later.
I haven't
Yes.
even worn it yet.
Oh my God.
What we were just talking about there, a little sidebar. Lisa for the commissary, in lieu of a Christmas bonus this year, got her a Drew Hellison Anaheim Ducks jersey for Christmas.
Authentic deal.
Authentic deal. I didn't call in and cash a favor in. Actually paid for it. So he gets his 5 cents commission or whatever they get on jerseys for his contract.
Drew's a Farmington guy. Yes.
Yes,
Played
local
at
boy
where?
does well.
Boston College.
He played Boston College. And he didn't play at Farmington High School. He played at Shattuck.
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 Shattuck, St. Mary's.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's now, played a couple years there, minors and whatnot.
Originally drafted by Colorado.
Colorado Avalanche.
And I think he said a cup of coffee in the ring in the Kings organization, then now with the Ducks.
Came up this year. I think he's got 15 games under his belt.
He
on
came
the
up as an
ice.
injury replacement and has stayed up. So he was in the Olympics last time. He's been there, played for international stuff.
He's a 6'3" defenseman. Good size.
Which I looked it up. You figure 6'3", but a lot of hockey guys are taller now.
Yeah.
They're not
that also came up. I
that
was
Neil
talking
Broughton
to-
thing. They're not all 5'6" anymore.
Yeah. What was he?
Neil Broughton?
How tall?
I don't know. I'll have to check.
But these guys now are all 6'1", 6'3", 6'4", and the defenseman.
Right.
Now remember, these guys are on skates and pads. They're huge.
Well, so these goalies are like 6'4", 6'5". So
Well, that's because then you can take up more real estate.
Yes.
let's see here.
So they cut to a commercial here. Do they have the ball to win?
Wow, Neil Brown's only 65 years old. I'd have thought he was older than that.
Well, he was playing when we were in high school.
5'9". I was close. I said 5'8".
Wow.
5'9".
So hockey was always the kind of the short man sport because those guys couldn't play basketball. They could, wrestle, of course, but hockey was good for that.
Yep.
Dan, did you bring the pizzas?
No, Andy had them.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
cooked.
This was called his cooking night.
Uh-huh.
So are they down at the 1 or 2 or what happened?
Yep.
Or did the quarter end?
Quarter ended here. I gotta update my scores here. Jeez, I'm falling behind here. See?
So North Dakota came out and scored. They had a 14-0 lead in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Montana State punted, kicked a field goal. It was pretty much all Bison first half. It went 14-3. No, then they scored at the end, 21-3 at the half.
21-3 at the halftime mark.
Now Montana State, this whole third quarter has been basically Bobcats, right?
Yes, it's been a nice comeback on their part.
You guys didn't talk about the shit show that was last night?
We've mentioned that, yes.
A little bit.
Oh, God.
Both the good and the bad. The good was that defensive coordinator.
The bad is
for
the
Detroit had these guys in fits. I don't think they knew what was coming.
They were a little worried about us?
No, I think they had schemes and things set up for the Lions that the Vikings were not prepared for, and it looked like Darnold wasn't, prepared or ready on every play. He didn't know what was coming at him.
Does it say start a fourth yet?
Yep, start a fourth.
Because I was watching. I was like, oh my God, what is wrong with them?
To me, it almost looked like Darnold would survey the defense. Ooh. And, in his head, he'd say, okay, good. No, this is zone defense. I'm going to run this play. And he dropped back the pass, and it was like all of a sudden man-to-man, and he was like, what? Then at other plays, he'd drop back thinking, okay, I know it's man-to-man. He'd get back ready to throw, and it's like, they were all in zone. He couldn't get it through his head what was going on. So they were screwing.
They were messing.
They were messing, I think.
And then line up at blitz, all of a sudden just drop back and no one's blitzing.
They must have watched it.
Then they blitzed.
Film.
And
so whatever
touchdown, Bison!
Bison.
What's
So
the
did the
temperature there?
It's in the 40s.
40s, somewhere like that. So did the Vikings have a bad game? Yes. Did Darnold not do well? Yes, I can agree with all that. But I think that
was that the
Detroit
real Sam Darnold last night?
coached them or something.
Well, and they maybe had watched enough tape to kind of figure out his patterns and his.
He looked flustered. He couldn't throw the ball. The guys were not open. It seemed like every receiver was double teamed on every play, which I don't know how it happens, but no one was open.
But like
because Darnold has been throwing
Naylor
to
was
a
the only guy
variety
open.
of people. It wasn't like
Addison wasn't in the game. Jefferson was double teamed.
Vikings have 3 losses this year: 2 to Detroit, 1 to the Rams. They play the Rams on Monday.
So it'll be interesting. Now, the good thing, by the way, the Bison just scored here for those listening. The good thing, Lisa, is it could do well for the Vikings to get this big loss, crappy outing out of their way.
Yeah.
Because this is all they're going to face in the playoffs is the same thing.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be at least ready for it. Versus they didn't know, they don't know how to play from behind. They don't know what to do.
The Rams coaching staff reinvented their game plan, I guarantee, this morning.
Right, and I think
all they're gonna do is watch.
They saw that game.
All they're gonna do is forget all the other tape. Let's watch.
I mean, I know we beat you earlier in the year, but okay, let's look at that tape and Monday night's game, and just watch out for the next 3 days or Sunday night's game.
And every opponent they're gonna get is gonna watch that Lions game and say, "Here's how to beat them." They were a magician last night. Whatever they did, they kept us guessing.
Like painful to watch.
Now it doesn't help when your kicker misses 2 field goals and the quarterback misses guys that are wide open.
Miss a 4th and goal.
4th and goal all these times. It's just they had our number.
So Bison, 45 seconds in, go up 28-18. We'll see what happens here now. Montana State, how do you answer back?
So now the over-unders, we're sitting at 46. Over-unders 58.5.
We need 13
12.
more points. I don't know. Could be
13.
close.
It could be defensive
And if
battle.
you're-
It could be a blowout. But
If you're in Vegas, you're down by 3 scores because it's 14.5 you're down. So, and there's the green and gold and Fargo South.
so now they got Montana State's down by 10.
I think it's cute that Montana State said this was their South Field now. No, see,
Yeah,
when you've been there 12 out of 14 years, you could call it Fargo South. There's bars I was reading down there in Frisco that it's like Mankato for spring training. This is when they make their money for the year, is this week.
Okay.
It's like certain bars in Mankato used to, stop him. Well, that guy almost got away. Because you were here,
that
Mankato,
2-week period or 1
that's
week
where they
period.
made most of their money. Some of these bars this week is like where they make their money, you know. Which shows you that
But they're going to switch this now next couple of years
because
to different sites.
they're doing renovations at the stadium.
Okay.
But you look at Montana State, North Dakota State, and Fargo. If you're not a geography major, take a couple of seconds to look those two up. Then look up Frisco, Texas. And this stadium's full. And that's where everybody came from. I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of Frisco locals there.
Yeah, I am sure there's probably very, very few.
I would say seriously 10%. Would that be a fair say?
Yeah.
10 to 20%.
And this place holds 20,000 or so.
Maybe wherever college plays there, those season ticket holders are there. And they probably sold those to somebody else.
And this is a nice place to play. I think it's a nice sized stadium. It's got a feeling almost like Canton, Tom Benson Stadium, Canton, Ohio,
Yep.
for the Hall of Fame game. It's a nice small field.
Some people were saying, I guess they must have weather there or something. Some report tried to write the bison. Well, how do you play on this natural grass? You play on turf all the time. The guy's like, dude, we've been here 12 out of 14 years. You know, and won most of those. I think we got it.
Well, this will be good to see.
First down, Montana
see what they
State.
do here.
They're chipping away. That's smart, though. Don't try to get all 10 points in one play. You got plenty of time.
3 timeouts left for each team. Montana State's got the ball.
Just under 13 to go. The guys, they must be tacos. It's Tiffy time, not taco time. You got the wrong sign, pal.
Tiffy.
It's Tiffy time.
Now, we haven't talked in the NBA that much, but what's the deal with Jimmy Butler?
Now he wants to go. It's got the NIL with college players. He just, we're not winning. I guess I want to go. I'm not the answer to your problems. I want to go.
Now, Jimmy, and this is with the Heat, right?
Yep.
There's so much friction with him and the team and the teammates that they had him on a game or two suspension, and now he's on a 7-game suspension or a week
I
long.
guess. Yeah.
And they said basically, we're done. We're listening to offers for trades. We got to get him out of here.
And I bet you can probably undersell to get him out of there, and they'll take it.
So the question now is, what NBA team, knowing he's been, I don't know if he's a hothead or a problem or what the deal is, but are they going to want to get him on the team and invest in a guy like this? Is he a clubhouse cancer? What's the deal?
If you're a 4 or 5 seed in the playoffs right now, and nice run by Montana State, 30, 25, 30, 50, touchdown.
Malott.
Touchdown.
He ran it. We've had 2 quarterbacks. This one doesn't.
That was a good
wasn't down
44-yard. That was a 44-yard run untouched on the sidelines.
and not down the sideline. The other one was right down the middle.
Jake Cutler is that Bears quarterback. I was thinking,
Cutler.
whereas this is a gunslinger who just threw it. It is what it is. Cutler and Jared Goff, there's not much difference.
I like that.
Chucked it.
That's a good comparison.
But yeah, Jimmy Butler is just a head case. He's an issue. If you're a 4 or 5 seed and you think you're that one guy, you see that, or you got one of your guys injured, might be out for a while, maybe for the rest of the year, and that's it.
Okay. For the balance of the season.
Yeah.
Sign him.
Yep.
Get him in the clubhouse. Turn the other way.
Okay, 25-28.
So now we
Bison have to answer now. We got ourselves a ball game. And yes, I want the Bison to win, but I want this to be a good, fun, close game like this. Say what you will, Viking fan or not, the last 2 years, they've all been a lot of majority close games last 2 years. That's all you want, something fun to watch. That's all ESPN wanted here, something fun for them to watch.
So now we've got. Well, now that over under looking much doable.
Well, if you took the over anyway. Oh. Just checking some social media. Make sure we haven't missed much here.
Anything going on?
Nothing that's interesting me. Who's that? Our boy Louis Arise might be on his 4th team in 4 years.
Okay. So he won batting titles 3 straight years
For 3 different teams.
3 different teams.
And
Marlins, Twins, Padres.
Twins, Marlins, Padres, yeah.
Yep.
Yankees are looking at him. I think everyone in the free world's looking at him, but yeah.
So one thing I hear with Arise on social media, people say, if he's that good, how come 3 straight teams dumped him?
Why are they getting rid of him?
I don't think that's necessarily the point. I think the point is when you necessarily don't really maybe need him, and his value is a blue chip at the time. Right now he's obviously a blue chip, big money guy. What can you get in return? You can leverage that and get a couple good players.
And he's at bad teams, so
Padres say, oh, maybe we can get a couple guys in return. So I don't think anyone ever said that he's a bad player or a bad clubhouse cancer guy. I think Luis Arise would be none of those things.
He's just been on bad teams, so he was the star player you got rid of to build for the future.
But the Padres were like one of the top contenders, and they got him. Right?
But it didn't work out for him.
So it didn't work.
Yeah. It is official for the Packers. Former Bison Christian Watson is out for the season. Is out for the playoffs.
Okay.
ACL. Torn ACL.
Oh, so he's a former Bison.
Yes.
I don't know if I knew that.
Bison.
Bison.
Yeah.
Former Bison. Christian Watson.
Watson.
All right, so here we go. 11 minutes left. He's going to let that roll out of bounds on the kickoff at the 3.
Okay. Will Howard of Ohio State, quarterback.
What's the deal with his press conference?
Rose Bowl.
Wasn't allowed to go up?
The scuttlebutt is he's asking, hey, I'm the quarterback. You can't come. His other teammates, one guy's like, dude, they won't let me up.
Yeah.
The reason that they're saying, and again, this is the whole, this happened. Is that the reason? I don't know. Even if you're late doing an interview, you are the quarterback. You should be up there.
Was he penalized?
No, it's because in his interview, the first thing he says, he thanked his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Last time on the field.
His interview he did before he went there, he thanks his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So CBS or ESPN or Fox or NBC, whoever it was, didn't want to go up there.
No, I can actually, sadly, I can believe that.
And you see more and more players saying that. CJ Stroud of the Houston Texans is good at doing that. A lot of these guys do it. Are they saying it to say? Did they believe it? I don't care. They're saying it. They got to believe it a little bit to say it.
Yeah.
If they're saying it just for something to say, they'd say, I'd like to thank my Ford truck for getting me here on time. So they're getting sponsored by that.
Yeah.
You say that because Ford's sending you money. You thank your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because he's giving you everything you have right now. That's why they do that.
So that could be.
And the networks don't want to be associated with that. Oh, nice little trickery play there.
So that could be. So back to the Ohio State football.
That was him. Yeah,
quarterfinal. They win. They advance to the semis.
Yeah.
He led the drive, did all the things. They quickly, game ends, interviewer brings him over. What are your thoughts?
I like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, blah, blah, blah. The stereotypical thing most guys say. He finishes that. He wants to go back up there as they're handing out the game MVP award. And here's the next trophy.
There's a railing around there for the stand. And there's the steps leading up. And they're like, no, we don't want you up.
And here's the thing where I respect him, too, is
I can believe that.
You got Johnny Lineman up there from Ohio State who's 325 on a bad day. Said next to a security guy who I'm pretty sure your mom could take him out with a good elbow shot if she wanted to, because he wasn't the most strongest guy in the world. So this guy could have forced his way up there, but he didn't. The security said no, so he said no.
What do you
mean I can't get?
What do you mean on the quarterback?
I quarterback the team. I'm Will.
You know who you're speaking to?
He could have forced his way up there, and he didn't. So I respect that too.
It's so bizarre.
Out of the way, little man.
Is that just the what we're hearing on the street?
Yep, that's kind of the scuttlebutt that.
Oh my! We'll have to have more of that on next week's show.
Well, the Bison had to punt away
because if they win again, they're going to run into the same issue. And it's all TV money that's running all this.
So the Bison had the punt, ball goes out of bounds.
We're at
3-point lead, 9:20 to go. Montana State's going to have the ball inside the 10, I think it was. I didn't see where it went. I was busy thinking my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I got no problem with that too, as long as it doesn't go 15, 20 seconds.
Right.
His almost was that. It was a long.
They keep it 5 seconds like that, and they go. They don't start quoting scripture or whatever, because that time and place for all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do something neat like CJ Stroud has it and have the T-shirt on to have something on it then. So as they're talking to you, they can read the shirt.
Yeah, you got to do all these other things to get if you want a various message. Yep. Regardless of what the message is, there's ways to get it out.
Drive Ford truck or something like that.
He got declined.
The guy was saying, "Excuse me, sir, you can't come up here. You're not allowed to play."
I just imagine back in the 70s with the Steelers winning Super Bowls. If Terry Bradshaw, they would have said, "No, we don't want."
Sorry, Terry. X-Day on the Christ Day.
No, we don't want that. Lynn Swan, can you sit this one out? Lynn Swan,
that's
Franco Harris, and we got other people we're going to use. That's fine. Just go grab some bench.
Sorry, me and Joe Green. You can't talk.
Me, Joe Green.
Me and Joe Green. Listen, when you talking about little white man,
So I'm sure we're how many weeks away now from the NFL Super Bowl? The ads are always a big thing.
Yeah,
the new ads come out. The Puppy Bowl. It's all this.
Yeah. The kitty half
circumstance stuff.
Well, and here's the sad part too: is it's all who's saying before the game, after the game, during the game, and these people are asking for millions of dollars just for their 30-minute concert on.
Yeah, it's probably a 15 minutes is probably
which makes halftime longer than a regular halftime for a game, of course. So
what the NFL will do, and you can watch this for the listeners out there, you'll see Super Bowl is 4 weeks away. 2 weeks or 3 weeks up, there will be a big announcement of we've named so-and-so to perform the halftime performance.
Yep.
And it's going to be all over Twitter because they announced it. It's going to be the leading tweet. And then they're going to announce the band before that plays, before the Super Bowl.
I think they've mentioned who it is already, but
there'll be a big push for this to get them all this. And like you say, there's millions of dollars involved with who's doing the show and then what kind of things they can get away with and who's going to jump in on the parachute before the game with a bald eagle on their hand and all these things and the flyover. Now this year is at New Orleans Superdome, which is what's it called? Mercedes-Benz. It's the Superdome. So there's the flyover is going to be a moot point. It's in a dome.
Yeah.
There's going to be no weather. No one coming in off a parachute because it's in a dome.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So here we are. 9 minutes left.
There's the guy that was keeping him from going on stage. Favorite Auntie Cindy could take that boy out. That dude right there. Looks like
he was more just confused.
He looks like your science teacher from junior high.
Oh my god!
Doesn't he?
But I like that one where it shows the podium, the railing, the whole.
Yep.
You got to go up there to get. He's like, bro, what's up?
He could have taken him out and gone up there. The lineman could have pushed him aside, but I respect the players for not doing that.
I think he was just so.
He was so in shock of why can't I go?
What's going on here?
They're cheating. Montana State's cheating. That's what's going on.
All right. Here's what we got. 8 minutes.
Third down, 8.5 to go. Tick, tick, tick. 3rd and 5.
So you're down by 3. Field goal to tie.
3 for 3 on 3rd downs is half.
Yeah, Montana State's been sharp second half.
Yeah, second half they so whatever they did.
I still haven't seen a big turnover, and maybe we got one coming.
Ball to 22 here. Here we go. Roll out to the left. Oh, hit as he throws incomplete pass.
He kind of fired it. Maybe that was too hard.
think he kind of was scared and had to get rid of it.
The other one that we saw was a nice little floater that the dude couldn't even pick up. But now we'll see what they do. This is huge.
So Bison held them, did what they had to do. Bison need to put 7 on the board here.
They got a
Or
punt,
at least
right?
6. They need to get it a 2-point, 2 scoring, yeah. See, that roll to the left and having to stop to if it was a roll to the right, maybe he could have done it. Body has to twerk and twist.
So Montana State will punt it.
You don't see a lot of blocked punts in college, do you? Fair catch.
All right,
About
Bison.
about 35 they got it, so a field goal is only going to be a 6-point lead. You need a touchdown, give it a 2-score lead. My opinion, that feel comfortable for the rest of the game. Not sure what that boy's doing. But
Nice
he
little
was
celebration. So now we cut to a commercial break here. So
somebody
Bison
eat
get the
fresh.
ball, 34-35.
Yeah, but so the kid from Ohio State, banned going up, or not banned, but blocked because was he
Will
late?
Leonard, yes.
But it's because of a media thing. It's actually went, oh, I thought we were done. I was in the clubhouse. No, he was doing other media interviews, which is part of your obligation. Let me up there. They like plug all this stuff in. They got to get all their interviews. The radio guys talk to him. The TV guys talk to him. The local college radio guys talk to him. He's going to do 5 interviews before he gets to the stage, and they're half done. You know, I saw a thing the other day. The old in the Twins locker room after the A7 World Series, I think they were standing on 4 milk crates talking to the guys. You know, it was just that's the way life was then. Now that's an exorbitant stage on the field and everything else. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's now with the TV deals.
Yeah,
you're working into. We need at the production meeting. They're going to say, look, we're going to interview each coach at the end of the first quarter, end of the third, before the half, on the field, like actually on the field,
right.
like baseball, 4th or 5th inning. We're going to put the headset on the coach, manager, and we'll talk to him. So I would never allow that kind of a deal.
No.
But I think it's the TV money that's pushing all this that they can't say no.
Well, the coaches have headsets on anyway. Kind of like in NASCAR, just dial into their headset for a second. Don't pull them aside.
Here they pull them aside, do a 15-second interview, but it's a live interview on the field.
Yep.
They got things to prepare for. They got plays. They've got meeting with the team. They're trying to run things during these TV timeouts. Now they're getting talked to.
I'm pretty sure it's all part of their contract, and I'm sure
It
they
has
paid
to
for that
be, I
interview.
think, with the deal. So it's
Yeah.
part of that because of the TV money.
Here's the Bison first down. Nice pass to the 45. They crossed the 50. They're at the 45. Bryce Lance again. He's having a career game, as they like to say. All he's doing is building his stock up. Led conference of touchdowns this year. Look at that.
Yeah, I think it was 17 now tonight. He had his 17th.
Here we go.
Look at those numbers.
104 yards, 8 receptions, 13-yard average. Not bad. Not a bad day at the office.
Well, it's a good stat line, as they say.
Well,
now they're gonna
run
run
up the
it
middle
on the
for
ground.
7.
Choose some clock.
Yeah. 7 minutes to go. Tick, tick, tick.
They're holding a
They
3-point
need a
lead.
touchdown, though. Field goal does them nothing, because it's only a 6-point lead. What does that say? 10th title in 14 years?
10th, yep, and 14. Montana State, first title since 1984.
I was a little kid then.
And like you said, this has always been an afternoon game.
Yeah, so they play down the cold, which they've done that before. First down, go! Yeah, Bison are the thundering herd are coming, baby. That was a large man right there. Very large.
So he goes right up the middle, up the gut.
And they're still swarming in the middle. They still got like 10 yards. What are you talking about, 35 or 25? Yep, 25-yard line. Well, it could be a nice little pass to Bryce Lance right here.
So let's say they get stopped. You're still in field goal
Hey,
range.
let's just stop that talk.
You're saying that
They need
You
a touchdown.
cannot, with Montana's explosiveness, you can't allow them to get back in on a touchdown. So
5 yards out
So
of
they're
bounds.
focusing a touchdown here. All
Chip like you did before, 5-6 yards here and
At
there.
the same time, you're trying to chew as much clock.
Then again, though, if they can get 7, say they score on this next play.
Okay.
They score on the next play, make the extra point. You're up 10. They got 5.5 minutes. That means they got to score, hold you on 3 quick plays, and score again.
Or
Get an onside kick, or
one of the
Earth
two.
comes and splits in the middle or something. They need some kind of miracle. Cam Miller down into the 30 for a sack. That's a big man right there too. Man, just let the little boy by. Jesus, don't say
So how many guys in this game here tonight are going to be in the NFL draft selected?
selected and draft?
A couple,
Maybe 2.
okay. So this
And I'm going to say 3 or 4 more get invited to camp afterwards. Okay.
or this FCS is also good for your free agency signings. You get picked up after the draft is done, or you get an invite.
Yep. Because if you're drafted, there's guaranteed so much money to pay. Jeez, I take this guy in the last round. Well, there's only 3 more picks. Also divided in spring training. I want this other guy to get the check because I like him that much better.
Yeah. So they got the ball in the middle of the field. Now, are they going to do a pass here, and if it doesn't work, kick? I know you don't want to hear that, but he seemed to go on his run and get down right in the middle of the ball field.
I
doesn't
would try to go for the
work-
first down here because you're not in 2-down territory, because you got to get at least 3. You do not go 2 downs here and go. There's Sundar. Nice guy. You don't go 2-down territory here to miss it. They only got 5 minutes, and all they need is a field goal to tie.
Yeah. Here we go, Bryce.
Lance.
Oh, he got that one that wasn't the touchdown.
Then he got the next play, got the touchdown.
8 for $104. Is that what they said
Yeah.
before?
Averaging 13 yards a catch.
Look at that. 107. So he's only a junior. Is he going? Is he declaring?
He might. I don't know.
Or he's going next year?
He'll play 1 more year.
We're talking the 2 quarterbacks are going to go, though, right?
Yeah. Cam came back for his 5th year. Unfinished business. Throw it. First down.
Got it.
So Bison.
Huge.
First down.
Now, don't celebrate yet.
Oh, he's doing the wave. Don't do that, son.
We don't need that.
No.
4 minutes left.
Well, just go run 2 laps for me right there. We'll let somebody else play.
That almost was an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that what the Jefferson? Is that like waving bye-bye to him when he has the first down?
See, I don't
know where that's from.
we're
I'm too old. I'm too old to. Intern Abby's not here anymore to help me with that.
Yes.
Where I work is a bunch of preschoolers. They don't know it either. So
Nice.
run up the middle, down at the 5.
Boy, here's close to another first down.
2nd and 1. So they're at the 5. They get a first down. So
now we know that the 2-minute clock will, because of that 2-minute
It's
timeout.
2-minute timeouts. Word it properly here. Someone went through a lot of meetings to get that
It's
name
not
right.
a 2-minute warning. Malat is on the sideline ready with the ball ready to go,
Yeah.
but he's going to need 2 scores.
But here's like with Malat, it's like we say in baseball. When you're down by 6, you can't hit a 6-run home run. You got to chip away.
Yep.
Okay, here's another sign that we're old. That coach from Montana looks like he's 15. Okay, that's a first down. He got the first down with the momentum.
And the clock
And then
chews.
just keep running. Just keep
Run
running
it down
down.
their throat. Chew the
Everybody
clock.
stands there pushing the running back and forth, and he's like, we're going to hit to it. Oh, there's someone called timeout. .242, okay. First and goal, because they moved the chains, that's why it stopped.
Okay. There's Christian Watson on the bottom.
I think they did.
ACL.
Yep, I think they did call timeouts to get water.
Okay. Each team has 2 timeouts left. Montana State down by 3.
Stall the timeout, boys.
1st and goal. He's in. Handoff up the middle. Touchdown Bison. Jamar Brown. Touchdown Bison. Ran it up the gut. So now it's 34-25. Like Andy said, you need that touchdown.
Yep.
Now you get it.
Now, here's the thing, too, is I know from the years past, being a Bison fan and having family play there. Hey, Jack. They'd always have to cut afterwards. So you never saw the post-game celebration stuff, the awards ceremony, say they cut to some other basketball game or something.
Because it's on an afternoon, typically.
Are we going to get the post-game ceremony here or not?
10-point
lead, 2:41 to go.
So now
I'm not being a homer, but I breathe easier now as a Bison fan.
Yep.
I'm not celebrating. I'm breathing easier.
Look who just passed the over-under.
We just got the over. Of course, that the points right. If you take the Bison at 4.5, being the Bison fan, I don't know if I would have taken Bison minus the points or plus the points.
Yeah.
It still would have been close. I would take the points. It was that close.
Anyone taking the over would have won that, and that is now done.
And a smart man, knowing it's a close game, 4.5 points is a lot. I would have taken the Bison to the points if someone gave me 4.5. I would have taken those points.
We'll see what they do here. 10-point lead. Tommy Malott at the helm. But they still got to score twice.
But they could score in 41 seconds, no problem, too. I mean, it's been done. But like I said, you got to score and now hold them to a 3-and-out. You saw what they just did here in a few minutes. Boom.
He's going to return it.
Yeah, because it was short. It's coming out 15, 20, 25. Oh, just short of the 30. That's what Montana State needed, though. Only got him out as far as the 30, but it was a momentum. It was a good run.
So Malott, on that last, they cut away and showed him talking to the receiver, number 14, saying, we're going to do some play. He's basically drawing it up. So look for 14.
See how Malott's got he's rolled up his shoulder sleeves a little bit there. He's ready to go. I like to see that. He's pumped. See, this is a soccer stadium they're playing at, too. The National Soccer Hall of Fame.
Oh, yes.
Malott from the shotgun. 27. One step. Fires. Oh!
Out at the knees and the ball came out.
No good. No good. Incomplete. And he's not getting up real fast either. He's on the Bison sideline, so he's getting no sympathy. He is not moving, folks. Those knees are not working.
He got taken out.
And I respect the trainers are over there. The players say nothing.
So he had
the
ball.
Ouch. Watch his legs. That's that pretty. That one's kind of flops right there. That did not look good.
And the ball came out.
That did not look good on those knees there, son.
All right.
You feel bad when it's the other player. You don't want to sit there and go, man up, Nancy, but you don't want to be, oh, you poor baby either, you know. But the trainers were over there. The players moved off to the field to talk instead of around them. If it was soccer, they just work around them. That's what they respect about soccer. You lose a limb, they just work around you. They keep
nice.
They bring the gurney out, throw you on there, just wheeled you off like it's World War II and keep going. Now, I'm not saying he's not hurt. Okay, now he's running off on his own. I don't like pro players who get hurt so bad the trainers come over, then they're in the next play. If the trainer comes over, you sit out at least 10 plays. If you were hurt that bad,
Yeah, and
Kelly,
I think
Kelly
the
had question
NFL
protocol.
is
What?
one play, right?
We don't know how bad your knee is. You just ran off one play. No, the trainer said to come to you. We had to stop the clock.
Stoppage of play.
You're out at least 10 plays.
And who was that? Number 2. Let's see
Yep.
how long he stays out. He seemed to run off okay.
He ran off on his own, unassisted. But if you were apparently hurt so bad, the trainer said to come over. But there's our shirtless boys, NDSU.
Shirtless big, the
That's
heavy
a-
guys
that's-
up front.
They were the first 4
They're
to fail.
corn-fed.
Yeah. Did not want you. Well, maybe you did want to be behind him in the buffet line because we have fresh food coming
Look
up.
at this.
There was a nice 12-yard run by Malott.
He took it himself, ran out of bounds, stopped the clock, got the first down.
2:21.
No, clock's still running.
Now it starts because the chains were moved.
Okay. Got it. Coming up to the 2-minute.
Timeout. They're going to try to get that playoff, which they do. Snap. Malott running 40, 45, 50. He's down at midfield at the 2-minute timeout.
So they're 2 yards short, 2.5 yards short. They'll cut to the commercial break here.
Okay, now here's the question again.
Down by 10.
You get 15 yards. Do you take the field goal and then come back with a touchdown, save time? Or do it's that
Some folks say that you need to score twice.
there's the Bison and the Bobcat have a little friendly.
So if you need to score twice, and is it easier to score, or just get it done with, do the field goal first, and then get the onside kick?
Yeah.
Some like to go with that. I'm
Get the bigger
neither
chunk
here
first.
nor there. It's just
Depends how you're feeling. If you're barely scrapping 5 yards at a time, take the field goal and reset.
now we'll see what they do here. So there's 2 minutes left in the game. Montana State undefeated, number 1, down by 10.
Okay, let's hypothetical. You're Montana State. You're the coach. You, by the grace of God, get a 20-yard gain right here. Field goal and onside kick. You're out 15 seconds. So still puts you at a minute 45 to need a touchdown from midfield. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's about where you are right now. You need a big play here and then get the field goal and hope you get the onside kick. That's the
What do you think about the plays where they say, you know what, we're just going to go deep to the end zone, hope for the pass interference, and get the ball at the 1?
So I
it's
think
gonna draw.
college it's 15 yards, not spot of the foul.
Okay.
Pros it's spot of the foul, so then yes. Which that pass interference is ruining the game too. They say the quarterback is baby. Boy, you look at the receiver run, they call pass interference now too. So
Now there's also timeouts.
we could be here another hour. You never know. If it was basketball, I'd say yeah.
Now, the tie. They have the ties here too. This game cannot end in a tie,
No,
right? They will keep going
it's-
multiple overtimes.
We could be here till tomorrow morning.
Boy, this could be interesting.
I gotta be at work at 7 though. So.
There will be some timeouts coming up here.
You think? Yes. On both ends.
Now, Malott, they know that he can run, he can pass.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do. So, here we go. We're back.
Yeah. 22-14, Montana State's outscored them in the second half so far. And they have the ball, but yet they're still down 10. So here we go. This is why you practiced since spring ball. This is the scenario we have in the backyards, as they say. You know,
They're looking for the first title in 40 years for the Bobcats.
Bonds are looking for the first title in 3 years. 4 years. 3 years. Scramble out to the left. Malott's going to run. He's got the first down. 35.
Out of bounds again. So he's doing it with his legs. Not surprising here once again.
Took 8 seconds off the clock.
Now they move the chains, stop it, and then wind it.
Well, he went out of bounds to be good. It's the play clock keeps going. So how many more yards? Again, they must be in touchdown mode here, I think.
Now defense.
You're not in a prevent, but pretty darn close.
Okay.
So here's the field goal line. So first down and field goal line are close to the same, within one of each other. Malot's going to run again. Oh, he comes back to pass off his back foot. Incomplete.
Okay.
2nd and 10.
He's trying to get to 14. They talked in that last break. He was going over some big elaborate plans with 14. And maybe that's...
Have you seen 2 back on the field yet?
Good question. I don't think so. Oh, see, the guy running the post pattern was wide open.
And that was you most of the time, the guy wide open that they missed.
Yeah, it's just, and he go palms up.
You made a career of being the guy going, really?
Really? Bro. Now we got ourselves a little 2nd and 10.
They got 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Rushes on. Caught first down.
Completed.
All right, they're inside. Looks like they're going to try to clock it. Try to get rid of it. Clock it or run a quick one.
Clock will start running when they move the chains.
They're going to run a play. They got 2 to the right. Shotgun formation.
14.
Oh. That was...
Clock will stop again.
Minute 29, 2nd and 10. Montana State Bobcats.
Montana
Coach
State.
is trying to get his players rallied and going here. He don't know what the hell they're doing. If it was basketball, you see a lot of hands on hips at the free throw line, I think, right here. Because the adrenaline's going to be pumping too, so. 27, Bobcats back. A lot going for it all.
Too deep.
And that is to no one in particular.
No one.
Third down.
Miscommunication or something?
Someone zigged when they should have zagged. Okay, like, here's my point.
It looked over.
You saw that. There was no one in the end zone. Why is that not incomplete or grounding? That was number 14 he was trying to hit out there.
14.
But
So
why wasn't that
way.
grounding, though? He was in the pocket. There was no one there. What's the difference? That, to me,
Good question.
that again, I just work here, though.
So they're at the 27?
Yep. 3rd and 10.
So what do you do? Kick if you don't get it?
You have to, yeah. Blitz is on, and they're going to, not get him. Malot's still running back to the line of scrimmage. Runs out of bounds at the 20.
Not enough.
He's going to be short, so they got to take the 3.
I think you take the 3.
You take the 3.
4th and 2 here. You just kick.
They are keeping him on the field. That is the stupidest call ever in coaching history.
Let's see what they do.
Sorry.
Unless they have some trick, because now it will be over if they don't convert here.
Yep. This is stupid. I take the 3. Coach, you're making a mistake. God, I hate being right all the time.
Here we go.
Here's a championship right here. Shotgun formation. Hit as he throws.
14.
Touchdown.
Fade route to 14.
Okay, I was wrong. Touchdown. Is he going to go for 2?
Taco,
yeah, that's taco time, they said, yeah. So I was wrong. I said I hate being
wrong. He did a little fade route. 4th and 2. Now they got the 7.
Well, they've got the extra point yet.
Yep. Instead of now they only have to worry about the 3. Oh, let's see here.
You get the outside kick.
You need to still get the onside kick now, but that's a tremendous catch. 35-31.
The review all scoring plays.
Kicker's out for the extra point. Look at this. Perfectly thrown pass. No one could get to it. It's either going to be dropped or
was that first foot in when he caught it? That's what they were looking at. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Now the extra point.
Snap, spot, kick, good. 3-point game, minute 9 to go. You need that onside kick. You need that hands team up there.
2 timeouts left. Montana trails by 3. Looking for the first title in 40 years. Boy, was that nice.
So we have a taco we're talking about, you think?
That's something. It was 14.
Well, that
though.
2 feet was close, too. See,
Caught.
1, 2, yep. That's they were reviewing to make sure that first foot was down when he caught it.
So now what? You throw the onside kick.
You got to get it first.
You have to get it. You have to execute it.
So here we go. You know that boring drill you all hate at practice?
Oh my. It's the first attempt all season.
Yep.
Montana State has never,
You're 15-0. When have you need to do an onside kick?
which hurts you here because now you don't have, you practice it all the time perhaps,
Yep. Practice.
but
Practice.
a little different than a game here to try to nail one down in the championship title game. Remember, you don't get it or you get a penalty, this game's over.
And you touch it before 10 yards. And you boot it right up.
Wait, nothing happened.
What happened? They call timeout to ice him.
Oh, I bet they did. I'll bet they called the timeout.
They saw the
Right as
formation.
they kicked it, the players all stopped.
Yep. They heard a whistle.
He called the timeout. Very interesting.
I don't feel they want
I
ice him.
suppose that's all you can do there. You're not going to, if you recover the onside kick, you're not going to use your timeout.
Right.
So you might as well waste it. Now, you can't call a back-to-back timeout, so this has to go.
Right.
Could they kick it off deep and just play defense?
No.
Oh, here we go. That one, I'm not going to lie, that was a good onside kick. I don't know if it would have been successful or not, but it bounced over that entire first layer of hands. They're going to the same side unless he switches it. Oh, we got a scrum.
Yeah, scrum.
Looks like NDSU has.
Bison are saying it's their ball.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here.
Montana State's not saying anything. If a Montana State guy had a finger out to get all excited. Bison ball.
That's your hands team.
There's your champions.
There it is. You're done. Now you can
We
celebrate.
do the victory formation. Oh, flag on the play.
Oh, flag.
Someone sets up on someone's ball.
After something happened after.
Offsides on defense.
Doesn't matter though, unless it's
Offsides on the kicking team or something. They
Okay.
re-kick it. Oh, he touched beforehand. Before 10 yards.
oh.
Dead ball foul, personal foul, defense. Doesn't matter. It's still our ball, right? Must have called someone's mom up.
Oh, after the play,
Yeah.
personal foul,
Yeah.
not on the receiving team,
On the receiving one.
On the
After
receiving team.
dead ball foul.
but had it after the play. So this
Fif-
game's done. Now, unless
15-yard
something
penalty.
happens here.
You botched the handoff. Where's 44? Because that's who the foul was on.
He came in.
Oh, Bryce Lance with the hands on it. That's good.
Yeah. I don't see.
He had to pull someone off very abruptly.
Wow. So no victory formation.
No,
They have to run a play.
run it.
Miller will
that,
keep it.
that burns a little more time off because of timeouts. Montana will call the timeouts.
Okay, and they did. Oh, second. They got one more to go.
So you run it and burn a little more time off.
Run it again, and they'll. Okay.
And no offense, both teams, I'm sure, because of their skill level, practice this on offense a lot. How you do not let go of that ball. You run and burn.
Yeah.
Well, these Bobcat fans are still getting into it. I'll give them that.
3-point game.
God love them.
We've got the over.
Coach is happy, but don't be too happy, Coach. There's number 2.
Let's see here. You still need the snap. You still need to execute.
Malott still thinks he has a chance. He's got a ball in his hand.
Malott's ready to go.
Which is good. You're showing your team you still have positivity in it. So smart on Montana State's part. They're not like, oh, darn, we're down. Boo-hoo.
They're not shrugging the shoulders, putting the helmets down. Look, they're not going to
They got to
running the play.
So
So
burn a few more
Miller
seconds.
just run it to and keep it and hope that ball doesn't come out.
Yep, burn a few more seconds by running it. So you burned off almost 10 there.
Now they take another timeline. So the Montana State's looking for the fumble. They're trying to not bust that ball loose for a turnover.
Now the Buys got to
lose their last timeout.
Kind of kill 15 seconds, scramble around back there, and see what you can do.
They've announced here a trophy ceremony coming up next on ESPN Plus.
See, that's what I mean.
After the game. So they'll cut over to that.
So 9 championships. This will be number 10.
Appalachian State, Youngstown State, and Georgia Southern.
Which are all big schools now. I believe.
Boy.
There's the machine.
This is fun. This is fun.
And that doesn't count the years Rocky was there in the 80s when they won, when they were Division II.
Okay.
Since it was FCS.
Third and 6 or 3rd and 5.
That's it. Keep the clock running. Keep it running. Get it to 45 seconds. Okay, well, 35, so it's a 10-second difference.
So they ran it. Now it's a 4th and 2.
Yep. Don't let it run down to whatever they got, 8 seconds or whatever. What's the difference there, 10?
9. So it's a 9-second difference, Andy's saying, on the clock from the play clock.
So the Bison will call timeout
This
with 1
is
second to
4th
go.
down. This is 4th down. NDSU will
Call timeout with 1 second to
use
go.
their last remaining timeout to stop the clock.
At 1 second left on the game clock. Time, 10 seconds left. Now, here's the thing.
So they got to punt.
Do you go in the shotgun and run and kill 5-6 seconds that way?
But they're going to get the ball.
They're at
where
the
you
50.
land.
They're at the 50 with 1 play to go.
Still a Hail Mary.
Or you punt it and pray to God nothing happens wrong on that
Oh,
return.
God. Could you imagine in a game like
a
this?
squib punt?
Punt it all the way, and then what if the guy returns it
Right.
into the house?
You ever seen me cry?
Oh. We'll be ending the recording soon if this happens.
Yeah, because my fist would go through it.
So I think that you punted
He's
away.
at the 10, he's at the 5.
Oh, here we go. Montana State can't stop the clock.
Right.
So there has to be the special teams play.
Okay, they line up. They line up for a
If
punt.
it's a punt.
They line up for a punt. Does he run around for a while and then kick it rugby style?
They've worked on something. They've practiced something.
Yep, he's under center. They tried to draw him off sides. They tried to draw him off sides to get the 2
Try
yards.
to get the extra. Now it didn't work. They got the flag. They're 5 yards back. Now they truly punt.
Now
right?
they truly punt. You got 5 more yards back.
But you still could have a muff punt. You could have a block punt.
Yeah, it's 5 yards
All
back,
these things.
which means Montana State's 5 yards closer, but to a point.
Oh,
Okay, it's 4th and 7. Now they'll try to punt. It's a
regular punt. It's
quick
off.
punt, but it's a squib punt. The clock is ticking. 4, 3, 2. Bison are your national champions.
Yes. No one recovered it for Montana State.
Yeah, they didn't touch it because Bison are champs. They go down and celebrate.
Wow. They killed just so. This was
It was a
key.
squib punt where it rolled because the clock starts running. Once he kicks that ball, the clock's running.
Very good time. I would say time management skills.
Mm-hmm.
The way
Yeah,
they
they're up there.
manage the clock.
Wait, that guy thanked the Lord. Don't let him up there.
There's Tommy Malott.
He's got class.
He had a great second half, I think.
Yeah,
That first half.
that's why they're
Could've been
15
it.
and 0.
Wow.
Horns up.
Bison win by 2. They don't cover the spread.
1 by
They
3.
Cover the over.
1 by 3.
1 by 3. Sorry, they don't win the over/under. The over/under was met. And Montana State does not win the title first time in 40 years.
They do not cover the spread either.
Now, the Bison get their 10th FCS title.
14. Yep. Well, congratulations, Bison. Congratulations, Coach.
That was tremendous.
It's got the James Madison sweater on the background. What you lost.
Yeah, that's old school. He made sure to get a finger in there.
Yeah.
So who was the MVP? It's got to be Miller.
Him or Lance?
Oh. Boy, I don't know.
Well, I'll share it tomorrow morning on social media. Catch it there. Woo! There's a national championship shirts. You can order yours tomorrow.
Order yours tomorrow, your ball cap and your T-shirts.
I'll wear a 2XL if you want to buy me a gift.
All right, well, thanks for joining us.
That's all
here.
I got. A little short title. We always go back and change that later, put more up there. We just had to get it out real quick. Thursday, regular show for songs. Monday again. Next week, back to our regular format. Let us know in the comments below or other comments below if you like this sort of stuff. As we watch a game, we just sit and babble for a few hours. Maybe that'll be a quarterly thing we do just for something to do. Cover different topics in no particular order. That's kind of what the show was based on to start with. But
we covered a lot of ground.
Got a lot of stuff done in 3 hours.
Go Bison.
Hope you enjoyed it. Horns up. Talk to you later.